Welcome, everyone, to Brody Pod, Episode 6. Welcome back. Wait, is this Episode 6 or Episode 5? Episode 6. Yep.
It's either 6 or 7.
No, it's 6, because I was making the joke that we now have as many episodes as Michael Jordan has championship rings. So we're pretty much Michael Jordan at this point. And, welcome everyone back. Thank you for everyone who's listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and watching over on the YouTube. I'll be sure to rate the podcast on Spotify. And if you're over on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It helps us out. And that's my little spiel for the promo. Actually, a little bit more promo. Be sure to follow the show at Brody Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. That's where you'll get clips from the podcast, show updates, like, hey, why are we recording on Wednesday? Because Matt was a little under the weather yesterday, so we're recording a day later. But also, you can just catch up with clips from the show. Insert the clip here. Wow, that was such a great clip. That's why you should be sure to follow at Brody Pod on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram, so you never miss a show clip. And we're also going to be putting some exclusive videos up over there. So with that being said, shout out Matt. Matt's here.
I just want to apologize. I didn't want to keep y'all waiting. I know y'all are fiending for the episode every Monday. I'm sorry y'all have to wait an extra 24 hours.
Yeah,
but
Matt
this is my Michael Jordan flu game.
Matt
is
struggling. He's a little under the weather, but he's toughing it out. Matt, actually, before we get into our Brodies of the week, I did go over to ChatGPT, and I just wanted to look up like the top flu games of all time. And it kind of gave me the top 3 here. So I'll kind of go through and give them the stats. And this is what you guys should expect from Matt on the show today. This is probably going to be his best show to date.
It's got to be.
So number 1, Matt, you want to take a guess?
It's got to be MJ.
It's got to be MJ. It is MJ. The 1997 Game 5 in the finals. Jay.
50?
He scored 38 points, had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and hit a 3-point dagger with 25 seconds left to give Chicago the win. It ended up helping the Bulls get to 3-2 in the series, and they took that momentum to win their next title, become one of the most iconic sick performances of all time. Matt, you want to take a guess at number 2?
I mean, I'm biased. I'm going to say Dirk, right?
Dirk is on the list. He wasn't in the top 3, but I went ahead and just looked up the stats just because we are biased. Yes, the Duke. Dirk flu game, June 7th, 2011. Dirk played with a 102-degree fever and flu-like symptoms. He was visibly fatigued and sweating heavily, blowing his nose between possessions, which we might see that a little bit here on the podcast today. And he ended up scoring 21 points and 11 rebounds and had a game-winning layup with 14 seconds left in the game.
Absurd.
Mavs won. They ended up tying the series 2-2, and they went on to win their only championship, but it is probably the heaviest ring in the history of the NBA.
Dude, 102-degree fever would put me bedridden for days.
Yeah, I think it was
the fact he could play at the finals of the NBA professional sport.
Some people said it was because it was food poisoning the night before. They said apparently someone from the Heat staff sent him over some food and at his hotel room, and he ate it, and then he was bad the next day. But, that's just speculation. We're not saying that happened.
Food poisoning wouldn't give you a fever, though.
That's right. I don't know. That's some of the lore that ended up coming out of it. Matt, do you still want to take a guess at the number 2 game?
I would have no clue.
It is Walter Payton, November 20th, 1977. Payton entered the game with flu-like symptoms, including a fever reportedly around 101 degrees. He rushed for 275 yards off 40 carries, including a 58-yard run, and scored 1 touchdown, breaking the NFL single-game rushing record at that time.
Yeah, dude, I was not expecting that. Okay.
No, you're on for quite a game here.
I'm not keeping up with sweetness.
Yeah, you want to take a guess at number 3 here?
No, I have no clue.
It's a quarterback from 1979, Montana. January 1st, 1979. It's known as the Chicken Soup Game. Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the Houston Cougars in the 1979 Cotton Bowl Classic. Montana had flu-like symptoms and hypothermia. His body temperature dropped to 96 degrees Fahrenheit during the game's brutally cold weather. He was taken to the locker room, wrapped in blankets, and fed chicken soup. After returning late in the game, he led Notre Dame to a remarkable comeback from 34-12 down to win 35-34, scoring a decisive touchdown as time expired.
I'm going to assume the Cotton Bowl wasn't where it is now.
No, it's not.
I'm assuming it was in a different
It's at Jaguars now, but I imagine this was back in
where?
Before they had, coverage stadiums.
Where'd you say it was?
I didn't say on here where it was, but it was definitely outdoors in the extreme cold. It was January 1st, so
Yeah.
that's what you guys should expect from Matt today. He's about to have probably the best, if there's stats for a podcast, he's about to go off today.
It'll be top 3 all time.
Speaking of stats, we get into our Brodies of the week. This is
It's a segment that we've grown to love.
Yeah, this segment has become like, we are watching these games now, and we're watching games or just for stories in sports now that we're like, that's going to be my Brody. Matt sometimes will text me like, hands off, that's my Brody for the week. Don't you touch him. Get your hands off of him. So I guess I will start first because Matt's will kind of lead us into our next segment here. But my Brody of the week, I have 2 of them here. Matt also has 2. It's someone that we think is doing something exceptional in sports. And my Brody of the week goes to Diego Pavia, quarterback from Vanderbilt. Had himself an absolute day to take down the number 10 LSU Tigers. And I don't want to get too ahead of our, college football preview, but Diego Pavia is on a Heisman candidate race right now.
Relax.
Diego Pavia went 14 for 22, 160 yards, and a touchdown in the air. But I think it was really his rushing ability. He had 17 carries, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I almost coined the term when I was watching this game. I was like, this is Johnny Manziel of college 2.0 here without the party yet. Diego Pavia is going in there and he's taking care of business. Takes down LSU, and we'll get kind of into further on the show our college football preview for the next week. Vanderbilt has a tough one.
I like that comp.
Johnny Manziel 2.0?
Yeah, similar stature.
Similar stature.
Like,
both were number 2.
Though.
And he hit the Heisman pose in the end zone. I was like,
that's disrespectful, dog.
Yeah. Vanderbilt is, I think this was like the first time, we forgot to mention on the show, but it was like the first time they were favored in a ranked matchup at.
Did I forget to say that?
I think we did forget to say that.
I don't know. Didn't sound like me.
No, because we definitely forgot to say it, because we were talking about it the other day. We were like, oh, how did we not mention that? We're like, Vanderbilt's favored. So Vanderbilt's on the roll right now in the SEC.
Was it first time favored in an SEC game since 1989? I believe.
Yeah, I just want to go ahead and say there's a lot of stats coming about Vanderbilt right now from like 1970, 1980. And I guess their team was pretty dominant back then. I did not know Vanderbilt used to be absolutely cold at ball. My next Brody of the week goes to George Springer, longtime Houston Astro legend. He's now over at the Blue Jays. And last night, which it's kind of good that we're recording this today because we now know who's in the World Series. But George Springer plays for the Blue Jays. They were going against the Seattle Mariners in Game 7 last night. And the game was, I think the Mariners were leading 3-1 at the time, going into the 7th inning. George Springer comes up to the plate. This is Game 7, by the way. Probably the best words in all of sports. Game 7. Shows up, got 2 runners on, and he hits a 3-run home run in the 7th inning to give the Blue Jays the win over the Mariners. They ended up winning that game 4-3, and the Blue Jays moving on to the World Series. And this kind of ties into a little bit of Matt's Brodies of the week and also our next segment here.
Yeah, I just want to say, dude, I feel bad for Cal Raleigh, man.
Yeah, it was tough.
Legendary, historic season, man. For a catcher to have 60-plus home runs, it's just, to end that way is crazy. But I'll get into mine. Yes.
I heard in the locker room, just like they were doing interviews with the Mariners after, one of the players like let out a scream. They don't know who it was, but it's just like you can hear the pain. And
I heard it was Julio Rodriguez, but
awesome,
I don't think it matters.
As awesome as Game 7s are, there is someone that unfortunately has to lose. The Mariners, I've said on the podcast, they were my pick. I was riding with them. We'll get into the preview for the World Series, but that was my team. They got knocked out, but I had to show some respect to George Springer, an absolute moment for him.
All right, so my first Brody of the week will be a pitcher from the Los Angeles Dodgers. This game happened a while ago, but it's Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I don't know if y'all caught this game against the Brewers. Tough series for them. Obviously, they got swept, but Yamamoto pitched the first complete game in the playoffs since Justin Verlander in 2017. So it's been 8 years since a complete game has been pitched, and that means the starting pitcher comes in and he pitches until the 9th, until the game is completely over.
Until the game's complete?
Yes. Which is, maybe, people aren't
baseball, listen,
right? They don't know baseball.
We've been strictly football. Yeah, we want to make sure everyone's following.
Yeah, so he threw 111 pitches, which honestly for a pitching a complete game, that's not a lot. Really.
My arm would still fall off.
100%, but that's really not too crazy. He only gave up 3 hits and 1 earned run, which was the Brewers' only score. It was a home run, but it was
Yes.
their only run of the game. He had 7 strikeouts.
Wasn't a home run in the beginning of the game too? Like it was like the first
It
inning.
was.
Yeah, and then
I
he
don't know
just
if it was the first, but it was
early in the game.
Yeah, and the Dodgers won 5-1 over the Brewers. Incredible game from him. And then his counterpart from the same country, Japan, Shohei Ohtani. I'm sure, even if you're not a baseball fan, you've heard of this guy for sure.
I would hope you have.
Definitely. But if y'all didn't watch this game, I kind of feel bad for you.
Go back on YouTube and watch the highlights of this game, please.
Because what I'm about to say.
This was game 4 against the Brewers. It was like Dodgers were up 3-0 and they had a chance to close it out. This was a closed out game. That's what you want to go find on YouTube.
Yeah, and you think the Brewers would come out just swinging. They would put up their best performances they ever had in their lives. But unfortunately, they were going against the best player in baseball history. So first inning of game 4, Ohtani strikes out 3 batters. He does give up 1 walk, but when you strike out 3 batters, that's
matter.
Okay. You don't give up a hit. You get a walk, whatever. And then he steps up to the plate, lead off. He hits a 446-foot leadoff home run.
Friggin' take.
I mean, let that sink in. Here's a guy that's throwing. He can throw up to 100, right? He can throw up to 100, and he can also step up to the plate and hit a home run at the next inning.
I saw a clip of this. It was on TikTok. It was like an unedited clip, and they just let it roll. He pitches, gets out the side, and then walks over the dugout, gets his helmet, and just walks up there and hits a bomb.
Like, I will say, like, NFL, I do prefer NFL, NBA over MLB. But when somebody does something like this, you have to respect it. Like, this was probably the most impressive thing I've ever seen in sports. Striking out 3 batters and then getting up to the plate and hitting a home run. That's insane.
I don't know if it's ever been done.
I don't know. Probably hasn't.
I know pitchers used to hit all the time, but like no pitcher could ever just hit tanks.
You know, Babe Ruth. But I'm not going to start on that.
Yeah, if you went back in time and told Babe Ruth like about this Shohei Ohtani guy, it would probably blow his mind.
You'd think it's some sorcery, some witchcraft. If you put him in front of Paul Skeens is throwing 104 at his head. He's not touching the ball, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, so bottom of the 4th, Shohei gets up again, hits a absolute bomb. 469 feet, 116.9 velo off the bat. Just completely over the stadium, lands on the damn roof.
Further than his first, which was
way further than his roof, which is, it's 470. Like, I just can't even imagine, honestly. And then bottom of the 7th, what does he do? His third at bat, he gets up, he hits another home run, 27 feet this time, so a little shorter.
So you heard that right. You know, he pitches and then hits absolutely 3 tanks.
He's pitching the entire game. I'm going to get into his pitching, but him hitting 3 home runs in one game, let alone in a postseason game, both
in a game clinching or a series shutout, clinching
like
game.
a series ending game, right? It's when I go home for the Brewers, and he's doing this to them. He's like, you shouldn't even be here, right? So he pitched 6 1/3 scoreless innings, gave up 2 hits, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts. Mind you, also 3 home runs. Only 12 people have ever hit 3 home runs in one postseason game in MLB history. Also, only 26 pitchers have recorded 10-plus strikeouts, 2 or less hits, and no runs in a postseason start. So he did both. Which obviously he's the only one to ever do that. So I'm sure I'm not the only one that's going to say this, but that is the most impressive game, easily the most impressive game in MLB history, probably the most impressive game in sports history as well. I'm just going to say that.
I don't know. I think those flu games were pretty impressive.
More impressive than this?
No. Imagine if he did it with the flu.
Right. But I mean, I just don't want it to be.
We're documenting it here.
It might think like kind of like glazing or like overstating or like, you know,
this is something that's never happened.
Anything, it's like people aren't reacting enough to this.
And
it's the most impressive thing I've ever seen in sports.
Shohei was going to be my Brody of the week, but this was one of the ones that Matt said, hands off, this is mine.
I had to. I was watching the entire game. Like, I don't even know what to say, honestly. It's kind of leaves you speechless, really.
Yeah, I do know that he had struggled a little bit in the postseason. before this game, and now that he went off and had this amazing game, and then he goes and rests for a little bit, he's going to be well ready. And the Dodgers did end up clinching the World Series before the Blue Jays, so they're going to be more well rested. I guess we can kind of get Matt. Was that all you had on Shohei? We can kind of get into the World Series preview here.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Okay. Yeah. So the World Series preview, it's going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. It's almost like a little bit of a USA versus Canada. And game one is going to start Friday, October 24th. So this episode's coming out on Wednesday. This Friday, game one's going on. And we should know there's actually probably going to be 3 games, I think, before the next episode. So we'll kind of have an update on like where the series is headed. But just kind of getting some stats here. I was kind of looking up today and seeing where these teams fall in the World Series. The Blue Jays, this is their first World Series appearance since 1993. They also won in 1992, so it's been, 30-something years since they've been to the World Series. So that's always good. You like to see, teams make it. It's their third appearance total. 1993 they made it, 1992 they won it, and then this year, 2025, is their third appearance. The Dodgers are looking to go back-to-back in this World Series, and they've never gone back-to-back in the history. It would be the first time since the Yankees three-peated from 1998 to 2000, and the Dodgers have had, this is their third appearance in the World Series. Historically, these teams have not played as much as you think, just in the regular season and postseason, but the Dodgers hold the all-time record at 19-11. And game one will be the 7th World Series game played outside of the U.S. So, Matt, who are you taking in this one?
Dodgers.
You're taking the Dodgers?
Yes.
I think, yeah, it's tough. This is almost like a David versus Goliath type of matchup we have on our hands. Part of me, I like the Dodgers, but I was rooting for the Mariners. And so now I don't know if I want to root Toronto and root for Canada, or because, I mean, listen, it's a lot of American players on the team,
Yeah.
It's not like
100%.
just Canadians. It's not like hockey, like the hockey all-star last year where it's like Team USA all the way. I wouldn't mind seeing the Dodgers two-peat, but I would also like to see the Blue Jays win it. This is, like I said, David versus Goliath. I think it's actually probably more like the immovable object meets the unstoppable force. This is the Blue Jays, who bats are hot. They hit. They're going to score runs. They're going to hit home runs. They're a hit for power team. The Dodgers, on the other hand, they kind of rely on their pitching and the way they kind of slice teams up. Their 4 starting pitchers are Blake Snell, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasgow, and Shohei Ohtani. And like I said, they've kind of dissected teams throughout the playoffs.
Not to mention, they also have Roki Sasaka.
Yeah, their closer.
Who's also a dog.
Who he struggled early on in the year, and then he went down to the minor leagues. They moved him he moved from one side of the rubber to the other side, and he's just been lights out since. The biggest player for the Blue Jays, I've talked about George Springer, obviously he can hit, but Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been the best player this postseason. If anyone kind of is a Rangers fan, you remember Adolis Garcia. He went off and had a crazy postseason. This is kind of the run that Vlad's on it. He's never really had this success in the postseason. He just re-signed with the Blue Jays in the offseason, came back, and they built a team around him. And
he signed like an 8-year deal or something.
Yeah, it was a large
something
deal.
Crazy. He's going to be there for life, probably.
But just off the percentages, the Blue Jays have a 40% chance of winning this, and the Dodgers have a 59.6% chance of winning this. Both these teams are hot, and I think it's going to be, either great pitching or great hitting that's going to win this. I don't know. You're taking the Dodgers, Matt. I might root.
I don't think there's any way they lose.
I know, but I'm talking like, who do you root? Like, down to your core, who are you going with? Like, if you had your pick.
I'm going to pick a Canadian champ.
Yeah,
I do. I mean, I like Shohei. He's like,
yeah, it's hard not to root against Shohei.
Such a nice guy. Like, he doesn't go crazy even during that game. Like, you don't see him showboating. He just does. He gets up there, and whether it's on the diamond or on the the plate, he does what he needs to do, and goes to the dugout. I respect that. Yeah,
and I would say, like, this postseason, the Dodgers pitching have pitched 64 and a third innings, and they have a ERA of 1.40. So
that's unbelievable.
They're pretty unstoppable right now.
That's just a testament to how important it is to not have how good of a team can be without salary cap.
Vlad Jr. only 3 strikeouts this in October, so He's hot right now. He has 6 home runs, which is tied for the most in Blue Jays franchise record for the postseason. So I don't know. Take your pick here. If you choose Toronto, you're not really rooting for a Canadian team, although they are a Canadian team, kind of are. I don't think anyone's beating the Dodgers right now. Though I think they paid a lot for their team. If anyone doesn't know, baseball doesn't have a salary cap. You just have a luxury tax that you end up paying. So if you go over the limit, you just pay a little extra to the league and say, we'll take our, it's like it's not really a fine. It's just like you have to pay extra money. And they've definitely brought in a team, and they're paying all the money. I'm almost jealous. Like, it's what the Rangers kind of did a couple years ago, but the Dodgers they're dominant for a while.
I don't think any team's beating them in 7 games.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. But with that, we'll come back and do a little recap of some of the NFL games. We won't hit them all just because we are recording on a Wednesday. We're back to do a little recap, Week 7 of the National Football League. This is going to be a little bit different of a recap than we normally do. There's going to be teams. Yeah, Matt's making a little face. There's going to be games that we just don't talk about because there's probably just not a lot to talk about on it.
Yeah, I think every week especially this season, there's been blowouts. It's just, what are you going to say?
Yeah, and
one
so
team
we've
dominated the other.
We kind of want to focus on just the games that we maybe watch or that we think are important to maybe the story of what's going on in the football league. You don't need to know every score.
We just want to bring you all interesting content is the deal.
Yeah, and doing this on Wednesday, I feel like we're going to be more focused on the preview this week than, we're learning, dude. This is a different day that we're recording, so we're doing something a little different. But first game, let's start off with the game that was in London. This is the last London game of the season. Thank you. We're finally done with them. Los Angeles Rams 35, Jacksonville Jaguars 7. This is technically a home game for the Jags. They are the team that the NFL has deemed London's team when everything was going on. And I'll tell you what, they didn't play like they were London's team. They got pretty dominated in this game. Matthew Stafford he went 21 for 33, 182 yards passing, and had 5 touchdowns through the air. Yeah, you heard me right. 5 touchdowns. And no Puka Nacua in this game. So it turns out Puka Nacua, he's not the Rams offense. I thought he was completely the only option out there. And turns out he is not. Devontae Adams had 5 receptions, 35 yards, and he did have 3 of those touchdowns. And then on the Jacksonville side, they said that they wanted to get Travis Hunter more involved in the offensive game. And man, did they try and force feed him the ball. They gave him 8 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. And Trevor Lawrence, 23 for 48, 296 yards through the air, and a touchdown. That one touchdown being to Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas Jr., on the other hand, it might be time to bench him in your fantasy league if you have him. 3 receptions, 31 yards. I benched him this week. Thank you, Chase. You get a shout out and help me take down Matt in the fantasy football league.
Yeah, I know he got injured during the game. I didn't watch the rest of it, but I don't know if he came back in. I assume not because I was looking at his targets. They didn't go up.
Yeah, I thought his injury happened. I thought that just kind of came out after the game. But
I think they held him out. He had he was a hamstring or something. And then that's when Travis Hunter got his targets and got his production.
Yeah, I did hear something in this game, Matt. This is probably something where we want to talk the most about this game. But Rich Eisen, there was a pass to Devontae Adams, and he said, future Hall of Famer Devontae Adams. And I just thought that was interesting. Future Hall of Famer, is he already in the Hall of Fame, Devontae Adams? Don't know. He's kind of been a little bit of a journeyman in the last couple of years. I think if he maybe stayed in Green Bay, I could see that. But he's kind of moved around. He went to the Raiders last year. Actually, it was like the last 2 years, and now he's on the Rams. I don't know.
He was on the Jets last year.
He was on the Jets last year.
Yeah, with his boy A-Rod.
Yeah, it was like that midseason trade. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
It's funny. He played with A-Rod, and then he went to play with his college buddy, Derek Carr, down in Las Vegas. Then up to New York to go back with A-Rod, and then down to the Rams. Maybe he thought he could win something there, which maybe he can this year. I mean, they're exceptional this year. But
yeah, and I think that's something, I don't know. Hall of Fame debates are tough, especially in this day and age where it seems like there's just superstars on every team. I tend to lead, and I lean into, can you tell the history of the National Football League, the NFL, without Devontae Adams? If so, then he's not a Hall of Famer. If you have to mention his name, then yes, he is a Hall of Famer. It's kind of like Jerry Rice. You can't tell the history of the NFL without mentioning Jerry Rice. You can't mention it without saying Larry Fitzgerald. Julio Jones. Those are guys that I bring up. Devontae Adams, great receiver. I just don't know if I'm ready to put Hall of Famer next to his name yet.
Yeah, I did a little research today. He's only 29th in yards, in receiving yards, in NFL history, but he is 9th in receiving touchdowns, which is
Top 10. I
obviously
did see that. I didn't know that.
it's obviously a fantastic feat. So, I mean, it's just, what do you, when you're looking at a receiver and you're trying to put him in the Hall of Fame category, like, what are you looking at, right? Do you want catches? Do you want yards? Do you want touchdowns? Do you want all the above? Like, what are you putting where are your eggs going? What basket are they going into?
Yeah,
What,
I think
what matters to you?
obviously like the yards, that I think that has to matter. Like, how productive are you being in the National Football League?
Listen, I think touchdowns matter more.
Touchdowns do matter. Jerry
He's
Rice,
ninth. He's ninth.
most touchdowns. Yeah, and I mean that's kind of some of these are just longevity stats. Like I said, I'm not ready to put him there yet. I think by the time his career's done, I don't know how old is Devontae Adams even? Quick search. He's definitely over 30.
I'm going to say 32. 33.
You nailed it. 32. He's turning 33 this year. So he's got a couple more years left to add on to those. I'd really like to see him get a ring.
He's ninth in receiving tutties.
Yeah, and
you don't get to top 10 without being. To be fair, Aaron Rodgers has thrown him the ball most of his career, and then he went to the Raiders for a year, and Derek Carr was throwing him the ball. Who's a plus starting quarterback in the league. Now he's in L.A. where Matthew Stafford's throwing the ball. Where, not to bring up another debate, but Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, right? I'm pulling up the top 10 receivers.
So he's played with two certified Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Okay, well, if you just look at the names around him, I think he's a Hall of Famer. Number 1's Jerry Rice. Number 2 is Randy Moss. 3 is Terrell Owens. Chris Carter's 4. Marvin Harrison 5, not junior. 6 is Larry Fitzgerald. 7's Antonio Gates. 8 is Tony Gonzalez. And then you get to 9, Devontae Adams. And then 10, Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans is kind of in the same boat, but I think I put Mike Evans above Devontae Adams if you're just voting him in.
I would agree with that.
Tim Brown's 11.
Based solely on his production with the quarterbacks he's been given.
Yeah.
I think if you've been a fan of the NFL for the past 10 years, whatever, the quarterbacks Mike Evans has been dealing with, right? Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, whatever. He had Tom Brady for, a couple years. That was his best quarterback.
Yeah, and there's only 4 active players that are on this list in the top 30. So Devontae Adams 9, Mike Evans 10, Hopkins is 19, and then Tyreek Hill is 27.
For tutties?
Yes, for career receiving touchdowns. So
I mean,
Mike
there's
Evans,
there's a side of the argument where it's like he's only had Hall of Famers besides Derek Carr throwing him the ball, which is like fair, but he's still got to make the plays. Run the right
versus
routes.
someone like Mike Evans, who's done it without maybe the Hall of Fame quarterbacks. He did have Brady that one year that took him to a Super Bowl and won it. Actually, I guess he had Tom Brady for, was it 2 or 3 years in Tampa? But he got a ring out of it. And he also has, which the stat probably won't be happening after this year, but the seasons with 1,000 yards receiving, Mike Evans had 11, and he's tied with Jerry Rice for the most, and doesn't look like after the injury last night that he's going to be breaking that record. But yeah, I don't know. I can be persuaded on it. I'm just right now, I don't think with all the other, it depends when he retires, who's in the class that's going to be up for voting. But he's only 32. He's got at least probably 4 more years left before he really starts, dropping in productivity. So we'll see. Like I said, the Rams were rolling this game. Devontae Adams had a great game. Matthew Stafford had probably the best game, and they were able to take down the Jags.
I mean, Puka was out this game, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned the Puka was out. Next game, Patriots 31, Tennessee Titans 13. We don't want to mention too much of this game, but it was a belt to ass situation here for most of the game. Actually, I guess after halftime it was a belt to ass. Titans were in it. It was like 17-13 going in a half. But Drake May ended up going 21 for 23, 220 yards passed, 222 yards passing, 2 touchdowns through the air. And he did come out of this game. He got slammed down and was thrown into concussion protocol. And enter in the chat, Joshua Dobbs. Matt, what's his nickname?
The Pastronaut, baby.
Astronaut, yes. He's studying to be, he actually might be an astronaut. Well, he's not, but he's certified or something.
I don't know if he actually has his degree, but it Aerospace engineering.
Yeah, he's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league. Came in, threw a pass, played it for 12 yards, and then Drake May came back in. It's just, I didn't realize Joshua Dobbs was on the Patriots this year. I didn't know he was the backup quarterback. It's when you see a quarterback go down, you're like, okay, who's coming in now? Oh, I know that guy. So Josh Dobbs comes in. Rodri Stevenson led the the running back room in this with 18 carries on 88 yards and a touchdown. And then I just want to mention this again. Cam Ward had another fumble in this game, but it wasn't like a strip fumble. It was like his hands are too small, and as he went to throw the ball, like if you ever played Little League Baseball, you take the ball back and it just slips out of your hand. There might be a debate on if Cam Ward has small hands, if he can't handle the footballs that are going on in the league, which is not what you want to see from your number one pick. Matt, what do you think? You think Cam Ward has small hands?
I don't know. I haven't brought out a ruler to him yet, but I thought this was a very good Cam Ward game compared to the last 6 weeks or whatever. I mean, he had over 250 yards. He did have a touchdown. He had a couple turnovers.
Yeah, interception and that fumble.
He's not working with a lot, obviously. They had the number one pick for a reason.
Yeah.
Defense sucks. They have no offensive weapons at all, honestly.
We mentioned it. Did we mention it last week? Yeah, we did. Their head coach got fired, and I was doing some research. Do you know possibly why he got fired? Season tickets were up for renewal for the next year. And so a lot of these fans probably were like, when you call in, like, hey, do you want to get season tickets for the Titans? And they're like, when the head coach is gone. And one of the guys that was doing the phone call, he was keeping tabs on everyone that said that. And so now he's going back through and calling everyone going, hey, the head coach is gone. Do you want to get season tickets now? We got a new head coach. So I thought maybe, the NFL is a business.
He's only the interim, though.
Yeah, but just like,
through 7 weeks, like through 6 weeks,
he was gone after 2 seasons.
Was he there last year?
Yeah, he was there last year. He was Mike Vrabel's replacement. This was also Mike Vrabel, who's the head coach for the Patriots now, who used to coach for the Titans, got fired. This was his revenge game, and so he went in there and was able to establish dominance quickly with them.
He's working with a lot more over there, though, in New England.
I just thought that was interesting. It's like, maybe if you want to bet on if a coach is getting fired, look at when season tickets are getting renewed.
Dude, I will say, like, if you are drafting, like, a young quarterback and you have a young head coach who's only been there a year, and you're drafting a quarterback, especially number 1 overall, please do not fire that coach after not even halfway through the season. Because Baker dealt with the same thing in Cleveland, and now look at him. Look what he's doing for the Buccaneers. Like, you cannot just give up that. I know it's a business, obviously, but you just cannot. For some of these young guys, these young quarterbacks, it's going to take them a while to get adjusted to the speed of the NFL.
Yeah.
You got to give them time. You got to give the coaches time.
I don't know did you mention the completion for Drake May?
Not yet, no.
Well, go ahead and mention it.
Okay, yeah, my stat. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Drake May, 21 of 23 passes, which is a record for the New England Patriots. 91.3% completion percentage.
Sounds like he is adjusted to the speed of the NFL.
Which, considering who, the last good quarterback the Patriots had.
Mac Jones.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Tom Brady, right?
Higher completion percentage than he ever had. It's pretty good.
Yeah. One of those was to Kayshon Boutte, who they deemed this the play of the day.
LSU legend.
Say what you want about play of the day, but it was a 39-yard touchdown catch with 49 seconds left in the second quarter. And it was one that he caught. It was like on the fingertips. I think this is like the second week in a row we've had a catch like this. But Kayshon Boutte's got pretty solid hands, if you ask me. That was a great catch. Matt's struggling with the flu.
Yeah, unfortunately, I learned that the hard way last week when he had 2 touchdowns against the Saints.
Oh, we're not to the Saints yet. We still got one game before. And like we said, we don't want to mention every game that was a belt-to-ass situation, but the Kansas City Chiefs, 31. The Las Vegas Raiders, 0. This game was over by the third quarter. One thing worth mentioning in this game, Rashid Rice was back, a wide receiver for the Chiefs who dealt with some off-the-field issues, some, was it speeding?
Some behind-the-wheel issues.
Yeah, some behind-the-wheel issues. He was suspended for the first 6 games of the season. Came back, and it looked like he hadn't missed a beat. Had 7 receptions, 42 yards, and 2 touchdowns. If you saved him on your fantasy football league and you finally put him in this week, it was the right decision. He went off. There's someone else that went off was Patrick Mahomes, 26 for 35, 286 yards, 3 touchdowns. and had himself a day. I think I just checked last night. Patrick Mahomes is leading in the MVP conversation. And what else did we expect, man? This is the Chiefs. They moved to 4-3. They look like 5-1 right now. They look like 5-2. They're rolling. It seems like they're getting back to full power. We always, like I said last week, we try and write off the Chiefs. We try and say they're not this, not that. It's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. The Raiders, on the other hand, did they bench Geno in this game? I don't know. By the third quarter, all the starters came out because it was 31-0 in the third quarter. There was no point scored in the fourth. Nothing worth mentioning.
They did not, actually.
They didn't bench Geno?
I mean, Kenny Pickett had 2 passes.
I think he just came in the fourth. I think even the Raiders benched their starter.
They had 95 total yards of offense.
Yeah, it was a whopping. I mean, we talked a couple weeks ago.
They had 29 total plays of offense.
Every time I turned back to this game, it seemed like the Chiefs run offense again. They were handling it. Geno Smith, no interceptions, but also no touchdowns.
My God, the Chiefs had 42 minutes of possession.
Yeah, this game was over. I just wanted to bring it up for the Rashid Rice coming back, and then Patrick Mahomes MVP conversation. That was really the only things I needed to mention in this game.
The Chiefs had, how many first downs do you think the Chiefs had?
20.
How many first downs do you think the Raiders had? 3.
Dang. That's actually close.
Are you kidding me?
That's actually really close.
3 first downs versus 30 that's like college.
Yeah, they might as well rode in. Georgia. Yeah, they might as well rode in and say, I can't wait for Georgia to lose to Kent State in years to come, and then we'd come back to this clip. But
yeah, they're going to clip this, huh?
Yeah, they're going to clip. Kent State's coming for us.
I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and so I guess this will be the game where a lot of people will skip through. This is definitely where I like to skip to in the podcast. New Orleans Saints taking on the Chicago Bears. New Orleans Saints lost this game 14-26, and they fall to 1-6 on the season. Matt, do you want me to read through the stats, or do you just want to go off with?
You can read through the stats, whatever.
I'll read through the stats. Spencer Rattler went 20 for 32, 2 touchdowns, and unfortunately had 3 interceptions with a QBR rating of 30.1. And Caleb Williams for the Bears went 15 for 26, 172 yards, and also an interception. Quarterbacks were not really the conversation of this game. Well, maybe Spencer Rattler with turnovers. Rushing the ball, though, for the Bears, Andre Swift is looking like a wagon. 19 carries, 124 yards, and a touchdown. And also their backup running back, Kyle Monangai, also had a touchdown. So with that, I think I've set that. Oh, Chris Olave, 5 receptions, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Saints. So, Matt, with that, the floor is all you. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure most people won't know. Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator of the Bears, used to be the Saints head coach. He got replaced this year by Kellen Moore. He was definitely a better defensive coordinator than he was head coach. Any Saints fan will attest to that. This was kind of his revenge game, and he did have his revenge. Obviously, like Brayden said, only 2 touchdowns, only scored 14 points. He had Spencer, Rattler, and Hell all game, 4 sacks. Rattler did have 3 picks. He also had a fumble. The fumble was something that can be cleaned up. It was kind of inexcusable. He was scrambling up through the pocket, trying to get some yards. He was holding the ball in his right hand, wasn't protecting it. Obviously, defensive lineman is just going to come and slap that out. So that's something that's easily fixable. But the interceptions, to his credit, he was trying to do too much, and I respect it. Like, we were 1-5 at the time. Why not push the ball down the field, try to make something happen, try to get back in the game? So I don't mind those interceptions. Obviously, you don't want to have 3 of them. You don't want to have any, really. But in the situation the Saints were in, 3 interceptions, that's not really going to do much, right? It's not like we were expected to win the game. Yeah, just all 4 of those turnovers just gave Chicago great field position. And that's why they scored easily.
Dominant.
The Saints defense was not too bad. The rushing defense was very bad. They gave up 5.6 yards per carry. But, Caleb Williams didn't have a good game. Under 200 yards, he had a pick. The Saints couldn't run the ball at all. And that's why Spencer Rattler thought that he had to, throw some crazy passes, right? We only had 2.6 yards per carry as a team rushing, and you're not going to win a game like that. I will say the Rattler-Olave connection is real. This was the first game that Olave had multiple touchdowns in his career. So I appreciate that he's recognizing who the best player on offense is, and that's Olave, and he's getting the ball. On the opposite end of that, for the Saints, the worst offensive player probably is Blake Grupe, and he needs to go play for the Shanghai Sharks. Dude, 6 missed field goals in 7 games. He missed one on Sunday. He's a 70% field goal percentage for the year, and that has him ranked 37th in the entire National Football League. Mind you, 32 teams in the league. He's ranked 37th. That means there's like 4
Yeah,
backup kickers that are better than him. Like I don't know, another, like, there have been teams that have cut their kickers already. Like the Bears, they have Jake Moody now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And they didn't have Jake Moody at the beginning of the year, so obviously they got rid of their kicker.
I think their kicker got hurt or something.
All right. Well, whatever, dude.
But it's still bringing in a kicker.
I've never heard of this in my life.
The
if
Falcons,
a kicker misses 6 field goals, they got rid of Young Ho.
Yeah.
Young Wei.
Young
Hoku. But if a kicker misses 6 field goals in 7 games in a professional setting, you got to move on.
Yeah.
Granted, 3 points wouldn't have made a difference in that game, but you can't miss. It's not like it was a 68-yard field goal.
Yeah, I mean, kicking, it's one of those things, your kicker has to make them. If they're not making them, you're going to have to move on. You can't really wait a whole season for your kicker to come around.
100%. Get him out. Ship him away, please, out of the country. But to kick the team while they're down, Rick McCory, starting center, top 5 center in the league, guy out of A&M since he was drafted. He's been one of the best centers in the league, year in and year out for the year, torn bicep, gone. Andre Miller, who has stepped up this year because he's gotten chances, out for the year, torn ACL, gone. He only had 1 carry this past game.
Was it on the carry that he tore his ACL?
I don't. Who cares?
You're just in pain.
Who cares? He's gone. And he was ranked top 10 in missed tackle rate or something like that. I don't know. He was very good in the limited touches that he got, but he's gone. They're going to have me out there, I'm afraid. They're going to line me up behind the quarterback, dude.
Yeah, I just also want to give some credit to the Bears here. They've now won, after starting 0-2 on the season, they're now 4-0 in their last 4 games. Ben Johnson has turned that team around. Coach that came over from Detroit. It seems like even in the bye weeks, they had a bye week. I think it was after the Cowboy game or something. Maybe it was after the Raider game. Somewhere they had a bye week, and ever since that bye week, they've been running the ball like mad. DeAndre Swift went crazy last week, and he went crazy this week. He's making the life very easy for his young quarterback and Caleb Williams. The Bears are winning these close games, which surprisingly this game was, listen, the Saints, they're not the worst team in the NFL. The NFC is a lot better than the AFC, and the Saints are better than a lot of the bottom tier AFC teams. But the Bears, they're figuring out how to win these close games. It's not something if you're a Bears fan, you're not used to winning these close games. These are normally games that, don't work out in your favor, and they're getting it done. I think maybe having Ben Johnson in the room kind of has changed the attitude for the Bears. And I don't know if I want to put them as a playoff team yet, but they're leaning that way,
Be a hard thing to do.
It's a tough division. The Lions, after last night, are leading the division. Actually, the Lions or the Packers? The Packers might be leading. But that's the NFC North is just a gauntlet, especially you got Lions, Packers, and then you got Vikings up there too. But the Bears, they're coming around. And if they can win a couple of division games, they're going to be in a good spot.
Not to mention the rest of the NFC. You still got the Eagles, you got the Bucks, you got the Rams, and the Seahawks.
Yeah, the wild card's going to play out crazy, especially with the Cowboys and the Giants, or not Giants, Cowboys and Packers having a tie. I keep telling people, I'm like, this is going to make playoff scenarios at the end of the year. There's going to be just a plethora of different scenarios when it comes down to the final week of if this team wins, and this team loses, this team's getting in, and this team needs this team to win by this many points. It's going to be crazy.
Saints aren't out of it yet, buddy. Mathematically,
the Saints are not out of it yet. They just need to go on a run, a generational run.
We need to, with the last.
Man, I'll ask you this: the Saints drafted a young rookie quarterback in the draft.
A young rookie quarterback.
Maybe not young.
You mean the 26-year-old Tyler Shuck?
Maybe not young, but do you think there's a point in the season here where they're going to hit the Tyler Shuck button? As someone that is watching and following this team, I haven't really heard his name brought up much. And I think Spencer Rattler, you got to ride with him right now. But I don't know, come week 11, 12, could they maybe trot him out there?
I thought they might have kind of put him in for a few possessions this last game. But I mean, they only lost by 12. I mean, there's still a chance to win the
Yeah, and
game.
Spencer Rattler has looked great these other games.
This is what I want to say to like everybody who's watching. Obviously, the Saints are abysmal, but this was Spencer Rattler's. He finally had a bad game.
Yeah,
This is his first like atrocious game of his career, and every quarterback has those games. Like
yeah, not
Peyton
everyone's
Manning, his
perfect.
rookie year, had the most interceptions, in the league, whatever. I mean, 4 turnovers, that's never good, but you want him to have those because he's
going to learn from it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think his starting spot is not in any danger.
Not for right now.
No, but like you're saying, yeah, if our record is trending the way it's trending and we're, 2-12, whatever, then maybe, it might. Let's see what he can do. Sure.
I think this is Spencer Rattler's like first year starting too.
Yeah, he started a few games. Started a few games last year, but
yeah, last year was like Derek Carr.
Yeah, it's officially his team this year, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll see. The Saints are continuing to trend downward, but they're not the worst team. We're not even going to talk about some of the worst teams in the NFL this year or in this week. Next game, we just talked about a little about the Saints. And now we're going to get into the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Commanders. Dallas Cowboys 44, Commanders 22. And just kind of read through some of the stats from this game. Dak Prescott 21 for 30, 264 yards passing, and 3 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb was back in this game, finally back from his ankle injury that he suspended against the Bears. I think it was like week 2. And man, was his presence felt. 5 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown, including a long 74-yard touchdown. George Pickens, we thought maybe, he was going to have a little bit of a drop-off with CD coming back. He did a little bit. He had 4 receptions for 82 yards. But overall, the Cowboys, it was just complimentary football all around. They were able to not only offense looking great with CD back in, Javonte Williams was running the ball well, 19 carries for 116 yards and a touchdown. The Cowboys defense was able to stop the run against the Commanders, be able to shut down Jaden. Well, there was this game, we got close a little bit in the first quarter. It was like the Commanders got a safety, but after that, we've said it all year, if you're going to beat the Cowboys, you're going to have to keep up with the track meet that is their offense, and the Commanders just fell short. Ron Bland, actually, before I get into that, Jane Daniels did get hurt. I believe it was at the start of the third quarter. It was early in the third quarter, but it was like a hamstring injury when he got sacked. He ended up going to the blue tent, ended up getting ruled out for the rest of the game. Enter Marcus Mariota as the backup quarterback, and Marcus Mariota did not look too great in this one. He came in and threw a pick 6 to Deron Bland, who finally got his first pick 6 of the year. He had the record-breaking, I think it was record-tying pick 6s last year. But overall, it was a great game. Matt talked about the Saints kicker struggling. I'll tell you who's not struggling. Brandon Aubrey, 3 for 3, including a 61-yarder. He now has the most 60-plus yard field goals in the history of the NFL. Brandon Aubrey, perfect 100% on the day. And just honestly, this was just a well-rounded game from the Cowboys, especially after the stinker last week against Carolina, where, the last possession, our defense couldn't really stop them, and they just kind of ran at will on us. It seems like they got everything cleaned up. Schottenheimer mentioned earlier in the week and some of the press conferences that, that was something that they were going to focus on, was being able to stop the run and just, they're not going to make any drastic changes on defense, but they are making subtle changes, and it actually showed up in this game. Also, I think the Commanders just were really injury riddled in this game. Matt, do you know how many people they ended up having out for it?
No, but I know obviously the main guys were out. Jaden Daniels ended up going out. Terry McLaurin was out. Debo was out.
See if I have the injury report.
They were down to their kind of end of the bench kind of receivers.
Yeah, let me see here. Injuries. Yeah, Terry McLaurin is out. Debo Samuel's out. Jaden Daniels is out. Who was their top receiver? Was Robbie Chosen was the receiver 1 at 4 receptions for 36 yards. So they were just injury riddled.
Dude.
No, Robbie Chosen.
I know he changed his name. Yeah.
Oh, wait, he changed. That's Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
When did he change his name? That's hilarious.
I don't know, but yeah, he changed it years ago. But if that's your leading receiver, you got issues. Obviously, you got injuries.
Also, Marshawn Lattimore was in a blender by George Pickens.
That guy is barbecue chicken now. Ever since, even towards the end of being on the Saints, kind of was iffy. Obviously, against Mike Evans, he's the best cornerback to ever play the game, but now he's bad.
Yeah, I did see multiple times, especially on the long catch that George Pickens had. He got up, stood over him, and I was just like, Marshall Lattimore might have lost a step. He's getting to that age now.
He should have that dog, man. He should have that dog mentality now.
Yeah, he used to be able to just put him on someone, he'd shut him down.
He just doesn't have his boys down in Nulla anymore. Dude.
It was great to see the Cowboys at full strength. Even Jadeveon Clowney had a fumble recovery in this game, which I guess
Also had a sack.
Yeah, a sack in this game. Yeah, as may sound as a casual, but I thought he was still. Wasn't there like some trouble when he came inside with Dallas? Where I thought he was still out. I didn't even know he was going to be in this game. But
Yeah, he trespassing.
Was it trespassing?
Got in trouble for trespassing. Obviously, that didn't really amount to anything. But
Yeah, he seems like a guy that kind of goes around almost like Von Miller, where he become like a journeyman. I don't know. We probably have him for like 1 year.
not as good as Von Miller, but yeah.
I did see the
Same
Cowboys.
situation.
Jerry Jones mentioned on the radio, the local radio here in Dallas, that he is looking to make a move at the trade deadline. And apparently it came out today on Tuesday as we're recording this that they are looking to possibly, they called the Raiders and trying to get Max Crosby, which I don't know what his contract is like. I know he just got paid an absolute bag, but I don't think it was Micah Parsons' money. But
Definitely
I think
not.
that's someone that they come in, that's going to make a splash. That could be a real improvement. I think just from what I read, though, the Cowboys are maybe 3 defensive players. So I think maybe get him, get a corner, someone else somewhere in the secondary. I think that would really help the Cowboys defense. The offense is obviously they're going to be rolling. I saw a stat that Cowboys are number 1 in offense efficiency, but they're last in defense efficiency. So this is nothing that we haven't been saying on the podcast already. The Cowboys, they're gonna win a track race. That's their mentality. They're just gonna hope their defense makes a stop and the offense is gonna keep rolling. Jake Ferguson, go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt you, Ben.
No, after you.
Yeah, okay. Max Crosby, yeah, his contract he just signed an extension with the Raiders. 3 years, $106.5 million, which obviously it's not near Micah's contract.
What is that a year? Like 40?
35 and a half.
That's like 35, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, which that's not Micah Parsons' money, so if we could get him.
But he's kind of up there. He's top 3 to 5, definitely, edge rushers.
Yeah, I mean, he's someone that.
I saw a clip from Shannon Sharp saying that the Cowboys should try and trade for Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that's also someone that just signed a deal in the offseason.
Exactly, and he's making more than
it's
Max
less.
Crosby.
Jerry Jones, he was on the local radio stations. He goes, we've kind of, I think part of that Micah deal was so that they could save money to make a deal at the trade deadline if they were anywhere in contention. And I think they're going to be. I don't want to pin them as a playoff team yet. The NFC is going to be a gauntlet.
Maybe.
It's going to be a tough, if you're not winning your division, the wild card, you're going to probably have to have, I don't know, Matt, what do you want to say? 11, 12 wins?
The wild card?
Yeah.
No.
You think it's less than that?
Well, who do you have right now? You got the Lions, number 1. You got Packers. You got Eagles. You got 49ers. You got Rams. After that, might be kind of a drop off.
So right now, the
maybe
playoffs,
you could scrape out, I'd say like 10 or 11.
the playoffs would be the
card.
Packers, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Bucks, all winning theirs. And then you get the Lions and the Seahawks and the Rams in the wild card.
Yeah,
with the Bears and Panthers before the Cowboys.
Seahawks and Rams in the wild card? What do you mean?
Isn't it 3 in the wild card now? It's like 7. They changed that a couple years ago.
Rams and Seahawks are same division.
Yeah, but they have the best record at 5-2. This isn't like a projection. This is just current right now.
Oh yeah. No, it's gonna be tough. Let's say, I don't know, for shits and giggles, Eagles win, Lions win, Rams win, and then Bucks win. You still got the Seahawks, you got the Packers,
and the Panthers are gonna have the head-to-head.
And then you got one other team left?
Yeah, you got Panthers and Bears and Cowboys. Those are all going to be people probably fighting for the 7th spot. And not to mention the Cowboys' schedule I think it's pretty tough the rest of the way. Next week we got the Broncos.
It's tough. I will say, I wanted to bring this up earlier. Deron Bland.
Yep.
He does have the record for pick sixes.
Okay, I can't remember if he broke
And
it
that-
or if he tied it last year.
He broke it, and that was 2023, actually.
Oh yeah, he was him and our other guy. I'm blanking on his name.
Trayvon Diggs,
Trayvon Diggs,
out,
yeah.
who's out for the year this year. That's obviously hurting y'all a lot.
Oh, is he out for the year now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he was kind of
That's-
getting sliced up anyway, so.
But still, I mean, that's still going to hurt y'all a lot on
Yeah.
defense, regardless.
So like I said, we're probably going to need 3 players if there's any type of moves done. I do want to give credit to what's up?
Why would they? I understand, like, if you got to trade Micah, like, you don't have to, but obviously he's going to warrant a bag, close to 40 a year if he was on the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to trade him and then, try to go towards the direction of run defense that Jerry said that he wanted, and you're going to get Kenny Clark from the Packers, and that's obviously hasn't really worked out. Not really defending the run. That was shown by, Rico Dowdle. Why would you trade for, a big time edge rusher? Like,
I think you get him at a little bit of a discount.
I mean, yeah, but like, what are you going to have to give up though?
Yeah, it's
for Max Crosby, it's going to be a ton,
Yeah.
because he's a top 5 at least, top 5 edge rusher in the league, and that's going to be a ton.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I don't know if that's worth. I think you just kind of got to.
Listen, this is just Jerry Jones speaking. This is Jerry.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I think you just kind of, at this point for the Cowboys, you kind of just got to.
He wants the league to know that we're open for business.
Kind of just got to roll with what you got now.
Well, our defense is not going to roll us anywhere.
If Dak can carry that offense enough, then great. If he can't, then
the Cowboys have to score 40 a game right now. So
exactly,
I don't think,
like, one edge rusher is not going to make a difference, really.
Right. I just want to give credit to Jake Ferguson, someone that's really showed up this season. Last year he had no touchdowns. This year, geez, what is he at now? Let me just look that up.
Is that 6?
He's got 6 on the season, which is already 6x his what he had last year. So, and we're through 7 games.
It's the girlfriend effect.
The Cavender twin.
It's the girlfriend effect.
That's the fiance now.
Really?
Yeah, they're engaged. It's our own little Taylor Swift story over here on the Cowboys.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So yeah, we'll kind of get into the Cowboys preview against Denver next week. But overall, I thought this was a great complimentary win for the Cowboys. And we'll see what moves get made at the trade deadline. There's just been some rumblings going on. Next game here, which probably I have to put as game of the day. It was the New York Giants taking on the Denver Broncos. The Giants lost 32-33. But I tell you what, if you turn this game on in the first, second, or third quarter, the Giants were kind of running away with it. Denver didn't score a point until the fourth quarter. Jackson Dart had a great game. He went 15 for 33, 283 yards to the air, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Cam Scatteraboo had 16 carries, 60 yards, and then he had 34 yards receiving with a touchdown. So the rookies are still looking great. I thought going against this Denver defense, they were going to struggle. But yeah, just kind of go through some of the fourth quarter stats here that the Broncos had. It was incredible. So Denver trailed 19-0 entering the fourth quarter. And then they ended up trailing, what was it? They were trailing by more than that. What was it? Oh, I should have looked this up beforehand. Either way, Denver scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. It's the second most fourth quarter points in NFL history. Teams are 2 in 3,677 when trailing by 18 plus with 6 minutes left since 1970. And Bo Nix is the first in the NFL history with 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix had himself a game. This was a game that the Giants were running away with, and then all of a sudden, here come the Broncos. And they did this on Demaryius Thomas. It was the day that his number 88 was retired. So maybe a little bit of magic there in Denver. Demaryius Thomas, one of the greatest receivers in Denver history. He was part of that Super Bowl 50 team with Peyton Manning. Ended up passing away too early. And this was a great way to show respect. I think he probably had a hand in this game and helped bring the Broncos back.
It's kind of a situation of better too late than never, right?
Yeah.
Waiting to the fourth quarter to score all your points. That's wild. I mean,
the Giants kicker missed an extra point. The Giants scored I think it was like 40 seconds left or something. But he ended up missing an extra point, and then that's how Denver was able to kick a field goal and win this game. It was just a crazy game all around, and if you missed the fourth quarter, I feel bad for you. You definitely go look that up. That was a crazy game.
It was funny. They came out today, and the Giants actually cut their kicker.
Did they actually?
Yeah, Jude McAtomney. Something they released him today. He's the only kicker in the last 40 years to miss 2 PATs, which were not blocked.
Oh, yeah,
right?
he did miss one
missed,
in the beginning of the game, or at the start.
He missed 2 of them. He missed just 2 of them outright, just bad kicks in a game that was lost by 1 point.
Struggling for kickers, man.
So if he makes those 2, Giants win, right? Or at least they tie. They go to OT, whatever.
Hey, I was hoping for OT. I had Bo Nix on my fantasy team, and he wasn't looking good, and then all of a sudden popped off in the fourth quarter.
You see how short of a leash the Giants have on their kicker, right?
No, here we go. We're back to the same.
He misses 2 PATs. Granted, this is like kind of game-defining mistake, right? If he kicks those 2 PATs, it kind of, if he makes them both, changes, right, the course of the game, probably. They just cut him. And they're giving, not to bring the Saints up, but they're giving him,
No, go ahead. Bring him up.
They're giving him a lot more leeway than they gave this guy, but whatever.
We'll get you off the Saints. Moving to the next game. Do you have anything for the Packers-Cardinals?
Besides Micah Parsons showing his worth of being traded for, having 3 sacks.
Yeah, Packers 27, Cardinals 23.
Solidified whatever the Packers gave up, that was fine. Micah Parsons just had 3 sacks in a game. And a close game, too. Kind of probably arguably won them the game.
Yeah, and the Cardinals, I just want to mention, they have like the most losses in one-score games this season. They lost to the 49ers 16-15. They lost to the Seahawks 23-20. They lost to the Titans 22-21. They lost to the Colts 31-27. And then they lose to the Packers 27-23. They're struggling, man. If it's a one-score game, the Cardinals just aren't the team this year. There's also, Jacoby Brissett was also starting again for them. Kyler Murray was still out. And like Matt said, Micah Parsons showed up in this game. But really, I think it was Green Bay's like gutsy call at the end. They went on a 4th down and they went for it and were able to end up scoring a touchdown. They didn't want to just kick a field goal and get the tie. They were trailing 20-23 on their final drive. And then they went for it and got it. And they lived to tell the tale about it.
Yeah, Cardinals have 5 losses on the year. All the points they've lost by are combined to be 13 points. So,
They're struggling
that's
right now.
Tough.
Next game, which we'll get into the Sunday night football that was going on. The 49ers taking on the Falcons. Niners 20, Falcons 10. And I don't know how the 49ers keep doing it, man. They are injury plagued. They have so many people out. They just lose Fred Warner last week to a season ending. Was it Achilles? It was ankle. Whatever. He had surgery on his ankle. He's out for the season. They're out there starting quarterback Mac Jones again in this game. But really, it was just a Christian McCaffrey game. 24 carries, 129 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, possibly best back in the league. I know we've said Jonathan Taylor. We've said Bijan, who also was in this game. And Christian McCaffrey sneaking up there, staying healthy. Impressive stuff. We did not have a good game. He had 14 carries for 40 yards and was just kind of bullied. Honestly, the whole Falcons offense just looked stagnant the whole day.
I do just want to reiterate Christian McCaffrey's importance to the 49ers. He is the 49ers. He's
At
their
this
entire
moment in
offense,
time, he is the 49ers.
And he will be by the end of the year. He's their leading rusher, obviously, but he's also their leading receiver. He had 72 receiving yards in this game. He's their leading receiver in terms of yards, obviously leading rusher in terms of yards. It kind of brings me back to the 2019 season when he was on the Panthers and he had the 1,000-yard rushing, the 1,000-yard receiving. I think he might hit it again this year. And I talked, we talked last week about, Baker Mayfield being MVP.
Christian McCaffrey MVP?
CMC, I'm going to put CMC up there above Baker.
Yeah, the 49ers
I'm putting him up there
done.
above Baker. He's their entire offense. As a running back, he's their leading receiver, by the way. All their receivers are injured, whatever. They're starting.
Yeah, I want to say he's like the only offensive weapon that's been playing every game. George Kittle was also in this game. He didn't do anything.
He's a running back that's leading them in receiving yards.
I know, but they haven't had like a receiver play.
And what?
Every game. Just saying.
That's fine. He's still
that's
a running back that's leading them.
They're going to use the running back as a receiver.
Panthers did the same thing. Is that on the coach or is that on the player?
I think it's on the player. I'm not saying CMC's bad. I'm just saying.
I know, but like
they don't really have like a wide receiver that's been healthy all year, other than Chris McCaffrey. Chris McCaffrey did lead in receiving in this game, by the way, 7 receptions, 72 yards. So he is their whole offense. You're right on that. He might as well just put him at quarterback. Just run the Wildcat with him.
I think he had like 32 touches in this game, something like that.
Total?
I believe so. Something like that.
31.
All right, whatever. But I mean, it's just
32 if he included targets, but he dropped one.
Whatever. Okay. Yeah, you're right. He's bad.
I'm not saying he's bad. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
He is my MVP 1-1. Is it right now?
Yeah, and then moving into the Monday night game where another MVP conversation probably got shut down. Buccaneers 9, Detroit Lions 24. Baker Mayfield, turns out he needs receivers. It's tough when all your starting receivers are pulling hamstrings, or Mike Evans, who came back in this game and ended up breaking his collarbone on a pass.
Died on the field.
Yeah, was pretty much beat up pretty well on the play.
Dude, I forget. I remember that the play that happened. I was watching. I forget the DB that was covering Mike Evans on the Lions, but he was like up and he was like celebrating, like fuck yeah, like he didn't catch, like, you know, what good coverage I had, whatever. And there's Mike Evans just dead on the field.
Yeah,
I was like, come on, brother.
He probably didn't know it was that serious at the time.
I mean, to be fair, like Mike Evans caught that ball.
Yeah,
but he
dropped it when
broke his collarbone, and then obviously he's going to drop the, going to the ground is going to, drop the ball.
Yeah, they're also out there starting running back Bucky Irving. Todd White took over the running back duties, but I think it's more on the Lions, man. The Lions played great. Jared Goff did well. Jahmyr Gibbs had a day, 17 carries, 136 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Absolutely took over. Amon-Ra, he might be my offensive player of the year with what he's doing over there in Detroit. 6 receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdown. What? He might be like, I know JSN, and we'll get into that in the next game.
That's your offensive player of the year?
I mean, he does it day in and day out. Every game, Amon-Ra shows up, toughness, ready to go. What, who do you have over Amon?
JSN?
We'll get into that. That's a debate. That's actually, I could see that.
Ain't no debate.
JSN's having a magical season, but I'm just saying, Amon-Ra, when he goes, the Lions go. Him and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Him and Jahmyr Gibbs, okay.
Well, I mean, Amon-Ra could run the ball if needed. He's built like a tank.
All right.
I don't like the hate that you're giving Amon-Ra.
Whatever you say. Hey, no, he's a dog for sure. But offensive player of the year type caliber? Nah.
I like Amon-Ra, okay? He's great.
I love Amon-Ra, yeah.
You're a hater on Amon.
No. He ain't, he ain't.
Okay, go ahead. Start the clip, Matt. I'll send this to Amon right now.
Send it to him. I'll talk German.
Don't stutter in German, man. He's going to listen to this.
He is nicht the best, whatever.
Yeah, see, you don't even know.
JSN, bro. Anyways, sorry.
But yeah, Baker Mayfield, I mean, he passed the ball 50 times in this game, but the Lions were just rolling in this one. Cade Otton was the Tampa Bay's leading receiver with 7 receptions, 65 yards. And like I said, Mike Evans is now they said he's coming back in December. I think he's just going to be done for the year. And unfortunately, that 1,000-yard streak that we talked about in the beginning won't continue. He's going to stay tied with Jerry Rice for 11 seasons in a row with 1,000 yards receiving and won't break that record this year.
You think Jerry Rice had a Mike Evans voodoo doll?
No. But I bet Jerry Rice has been like secretly hoping something happened to him.
Yeah. Dude, I wrote on there Hall of Famer question mark.
Yeah.
For Mike Evans. What do you think?
I would put Mike Evans in.
Yeah, I think he has to be. I believe
he's got the ring, he's got the seasons, he's got the stats. Yeah, put him in.
I don't know where he ranks in yards. It might be top 10. I know he's obviously 10th in receiving touchdowns, like we touched on earlier, but I do.
Mike Evans also 32. Him and Devontae Adams, same age.
Yeah, but
he's actually technically a year younger.
Again, like we said earlier, like just the quarterback actually had to go through, and he still had 1,000 yards every single year.
Even if one of those was like
insane.
What was it against the Saints when he got that slant?
Yeah, to give him the 1,000
yards.
Yeah, it was, that's fair. I would do the same thing. But
Lions, they're rolling. They're going to be at the top of their division along with the Packers. So we'll see. The Bucs just need to get healthy. Like, they're still a good team. They're still probably going to win the NFC South. It's going to probably, I don't know, maybe Carolina's going to be in there for the NFC South.
Remember the Saints?
No, the Saints. Come on, man. Come on.
I know Ibuka played in this game, but again, like you said, still struggling with that hamstring injury.
Yeah, he was limited.
He
on
definitely
what he
was
could
not
do.
100%.
Sorry to all the Bucs fans that are listening now based off our one TikTok. So
They're still, still going to win the division.
hey,
They're still making the playoffs.
you guys just got to get healthy. Oh, Tez Johnson, we forgot to mention, might actually be MVP. Had a crazy reception touchdown.
Yeah, that was crazy. His second straight game with a touchdown.
Went through like 6 defenders or whatever it was, and it got in. I was like, maybe this guy is the MVP after the whole. He thought the crowd was chanting MVP for him last week. So
yeah, it might be.
All right, next game. This game, I had beef with this game. Houston Texans 19, Seattle Seahawks 27. This game started at 9 p.m. here in Texas last night. That is an absurd time to start a football game. It was the doubleheader, and I go back and forth. I don't like them staggering doubleheaders, but also I don't like them putting it late. I think I was watching this game until like midnight, even though there wasn't much to watch of it. The Houston Texans offense was in a blender in Seattle. It seemed like every time Seattle had the ball, they were getting it in their territory. The Texans just couldn't stop turning it over, whether it was like just fumbles or interceptions. Actually, was there any fumbles in this? Yeah, they lost a fumble, then they had an interception. Sam Darnold looked great. JSN also had a crazy game. 8 receptions, 123 yards, and a touchdown. And also, you shot me earlier, Matt, but he's also in the Offensive Player of the Year conversation. Someone that's looking smooth.
Sam Darnold?
What? No, JSN.
Sam Darnold?
Jackson Smith. I had himself a day. Cooper Kupp also threw a pass in this game. It didn't matter.
Yeah. It was an interception.
Yeah, I don't know. The Texans, they fall to 2-4 in the season. They just didn't look good. If you stayed up to watch this game, it kind of was over by half. It was 27-12 at half. Wait, no, it was 27-12 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So it was over.
And the Texans have the best team in the AFC in their division, Colts. So
yeah, Colts. We didn't mention
the Jags, but
yeah, we didn't mention this. But the Colts are now 6-1. I think they're the top record
in the AFC. Yeah.
No, in the NFL.
Ooh, that is true.
They are the only 6-1 team.
Yeah. The Buccaneers had a chance.
Mm-hmm. And the Packers have only lost 1, but they also have that tie, so they're 4-1-1. So Colts, this is our Colts. This is our team. They're top of the division.
We bleed blue.
But with that, we'll come back and we will hit a preview for, what is this, week 9? No, week 8 of the NFL. And we are back to do our NFL week 8 preview. And currently in the pick'em, me and Matt pick these games every week. I am up on a 4-game lead after last week.
No.
Total. So right now it's looking like Matt's going to do the punishment.
4?
We've come up with a couple ideas. Yeah, because I was up 3 the week before, then I'm up 1 after last week. So it's 4 total.
All right.
Listen, I've been keeping track. I got a notes pad. I got a notes app going on my phone. So
I don't think so, but all right, dude.
You can go through the episodes and comb through it if you think I'm lying.
I'll come.
Okay, so starting off, we got Vikings at the Chargers, and I believe the Vikings are going to be without J.J. McCarthy and possibly Carson Wentz.
I already said they're starting Carson Wentz.
Oh, they starting Carson Wentz? Okay, so I'm just wrong. But this game's going to be at the Chargers, and, we didn't mention it in the recap of last week, but Justin Herbert's coming off throwing 421 yards against the Colts last week, so I'm going to take the Chargers in this one.
We'll take the Chargers in this one.
All right, we both are taking the Chargers. Moving on.
Am I doing my guess in the spread or no? Is that still a thing?
You weren't doing that well last time, but let's see.
Okay.
Guess the spread.
Chargers 3.5.
You actually nailed it.
Damn right. I'm not looking at it. I'm not.
Yeah, okay, but for everyone listening, this is how this thing goes. Matt's going to get the first one, and then he's going to miss every single one until, the Sunday night game.
Yeah, probably right. All right,
next
Dolphins,
game.
Falcons.
Dolphins at the Falcons. Tua turned the ball over, leading the league in interceptions.
But the Falcons such a crazy stat, because Tua is such a nice fella.
Yeah.
Give me the Falcons, boy.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to go Falcons. There's trouble in Miami.
Give me the ATL, boy.
Yeah, and what do you think the spread is?
I do Falcons 1.5.
Falcons 7.5.
Oh, God. Okay.
See, this is what I mean. This is how these go. This is the trend.
No, Falcons are better than that. I don't want to give them the credit they deserve, though.
All right, Jets at the Bengals. The Jets benched Justin Fields last week against the Panthers, and the Bengals are now led by Joe Flacco, who is looking great.
And the Jets are led by, Tyrod Taylor?
Oh, yeah, Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, he came in.
What a
The Jets
absolute.
are still winless, and me and Matt are going to do a new thing. If either of us guess when the Jets get their first win, like when we're doing this pick 'em, like if you take the Jets, it's going to count for 2 points. But I'm taking the Bengals. I think Jamar Chase is going to be too much.
I mean, I don't know the Jets' schedule the rest of the way, but if there's a game they could win,
Can we look it up for you real quick before you say something?
maybe. But like, if there's a game they could win, would it not
I got
be
it right
against?
here.
Would it not be
Yeah.
against this?
I think it comes next week. They play the Browns next week.
No.
And then they go Bengals, Browns, Patriots, Ravens, Falcons, Dolphins. Maybe they have a chance. Jags, Saints. They definitely have a chance.
All right,
It's
relax.
at the Saints.
Relax, buddy.
Patriots again, and then Bills to finish the season. They're going to win one of these games.
I'll go Bengals.
All right.
But I'm iffy.
We're both going Bengals. You want to guess the spread on this game?
Bengals 4.5.
6.5. Next game, Browns at the Patriots. Patriots coming off a win last week against Tennessee. Patriots, I mentioned the Bears were hot and rolling for 4 wins in a row. The Patriots also 4 in a row, and Drake May absolutely slinging it.
Taking the Patriots.
I'm also going to take the Patriots. Although
5.5.
Quinshon Judkins also looked great last week for the Browns.
He's just such a dog.
Patriots 6.5.
What did I say? 5.5?
Yeah, you said 5.5. Next game, Giants at the Eagles. If anyone doesn't remember, 2 weeks ago, Thursday Night Football. It was in New York, and the Giants upset the Eagles. They get another chance real quick, turnaround. Eagles looked like they were rolling last week. The passing was there. Jalen Hurts had a perfect passer rating. They're slinging the ball. But you know what? It would be interesting. This game's in Philly this week. It's a chance for them to get their get back. I'm trying to think. I really want to take the Giants. I'm going to take the
Eagles.
If they lose to the Giants twice, that would be hilarious.
I watched the Giants lose to the Saints, so I'm going to go Eagles.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go Giants. I'm rocking with Cam Scattaboo.
Is it Scattaboo?
Boo.
Or is it Scattaboo?
I don't know. He won't be able to pronounce it in a couple years anyways.
That's fair. I mean, it's like the Bijan type deal.
Yep. Bills at the Panthers next game. Bills coming off a bye week, going to be well rested. Panthers possibly without Bryce Young. I think he was hurt in the last game or something happened.
He's out this week.
Yeah. I'm going Bills. I think, they're just coming back off a bye week. They're going to be rested. The Panthers probably a little beat up from the last couple of weeks of football they played. Also, I have no clue what the running back situation is in Carolina. So I'm going Bills.
I'm going Bills. And like you said, running back situation is up in the air. Also, I don't even know their backup quarterback. So
for the Panthers?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Andy Dalton. The Red Rocket shows back up.
Is it really?
Yep.
Are you 100%?
I'm looking at it right now on the depth chart.
Saints legend?
Yeah,
Andy
Saints
Dalton?
legend. Yeah, Carolina legend.
Yeah, good luck.
Came in last year, won him a couple games.
Dallas Cowboys legend?
I forgot it's Andy Dalton, man. I might. Nah.
All right, relax.
I still got to take the Bills. What do you think the spread is, though?
6.5.
7.5.
Fuck,
that's what I mean.
dude.
This is going to be until we hit Sunday Night Football. He won't get
that was in my... Dude, 7.5 was... That's the first thing that came to my head.
Next game, Bears at the Ravens. Bears are just on a roll, man. They've been a hot team. Lamar Jackson's questionable for this game. I don't know. I'm going Bears. I think every week I've picked the Bears. They've won, other than the Cowboy week because I had to take the Cowboys. I'm going Bears.
I think Lamar supposed to come back this week?
He is, but the hamstring is so questionable, and hamstrings can linger. I don't think we'll know exactly until game time.
I'm just going to pick the Ravens just on the chance that
questionable.
Lamar's there. I'm going to pick the Ravens.
Okay, we got a little discrepancy. There's some points out there this week. Next game, 49ers.
Spread.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
spread.
Yeah, go ahead. Take a guess. You're not going to get it.
1.5.
Baltimore, 6.5.
Jesus. Okay.
That's crazy. A 1-5 team is favored against a 4-2 team. But I think Bears fans are guarding their hearts right now. I think this is a game they win. They're going to get rowdy. Next game, 49ers at the Texans. What are you thinking on this one, Matt?
Niners.
Even though the Niners are hurt.
Same season.
I don't know. I'm going to take the Texans. What is that report there? Oh, are you doing a draft?
No.
Oh.
It's just
I'm taking the Texans.
I'm going to go Niners. Niners, 4.5.
I think hopefully they'll get their offense cleaned up, and I'm looking good. It looked stagnant last night, so.
Niners, 4.5?
No, it's Houston 1.5 actually. So that was,
okay.
That's off.
All right.
Afternoon slate of games. Buccaneers at the Saints. I have no clue if the Buccaneers are going to have a receiver back for this game. They should have Amika Buka, but they struggled last night against the Detroit Lions.
Why are you saying? I don't know why you're saying that. Like it's gonna alter your selection.
You're right. I'm going Bucks.
Going Saints.
Any reason why you're taking the Saints, or just pride?
Just I got a feeling.
Next game, Cowboys at the Broncos.
Whoa!
I forget we were doing the spread.
Buccaneers 5.5.
3.5.
It's so hard, dude.
I don't know why you are like the best at Thursday night football, but then like the rest you just fade. You'll get like one more of these.
These are a toss up, dude.
Cowboys at the Broncos. I do have an interesting little just thought for this game. Brandon Aubrey, obviously the kicker for the Cowboys. I think if there's an opportunity, kicking at altitude in Denver, I think he could possibly break the NFL record for the longest kick. Could it be 70 plus yards? He's got maybe the leg to do it if the wind's the right way. If there's no rain, I think Brandon Aubrey could possibly put him on record watch. Cowboys offense look great. I definitely think our defense could give up 33 points in the fourth quarter, but I'm going to go Cowboys. Matt?
It's in Denver?
It's in Denver. He's thinking, everybody.
It's tough because, the Giants lost, and their defense is not that great. Neither is Cowboys, but Cowboys' offense is better than the Giants' offense.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Broncos.
Give him the Broncos. We're actually okay. We're going to have a couple games here.
Broncos -2.5.
Let me see here.
Please.
Broncos 3.5.
Like, that's pretty much
all around it.
Right?
You're all around it. Titans at the Colts. I think I speak for both of us. We're going to take the Colts, the hottest team in the NFL right now. 6-1. Daniel Jones playing out of his mind. Jonathan Taylor also playing out of his mind.
Colts 9.5.
Struggling. What do you say?
Colts 9.5.
Colts 14.5.
Jesus, bro.
That is a whopping.
If they win by 50, oh my God. To be fair, they did just destroy the Chargers, but
next game, Sunday Night Football. This will probably be one that Matt gets right, although it's a tough one. Packers at the Steelers. This is the first time that Aaron Rodgers will face his former team, the Green Bay Packers. I thought it was going to be the first time at Lambeau. They're playing in Pittsburgh this week. So I don't think he's made his return to Lambeau. I guess he hasn't made his return to Lambeau. It's the first time he's playing them since he left Green Bay. Steelers look good. Packers just, I think, find a way to win. I think it's going to be a motivated Aaron Rodgers. And so I'm going to rock with the Steelers.
I'm going to go with the Steelers as well.
Okay.
I'm going to say they have the Packers like -1.5 just for the storyline.
What do you say, 1.5?
Yeah.
It's 3.5. Sorry, you still get.
I just figured they would favor the Packers just for that little storyline, A-Rod versus his former team.
Final game of the week, Monday night, which there's going to be a little bit more on this Monday night here in a second on the podcast after college football, but it is the sports equinox. Commanders at the Chiefs. Jaden Daniels is still questionable. The Commanders' offense is just too beat up. I think I'm going to have to rock with the Chiefs. That's, until the Chiefs lose, I have to rock with the Chiefs. They're looking hot. They just got Rashid Rice back. Offense was rolling last week. Defense was obviously pitched to shutout. They're looking great. Possible Super Bowl contender. I'm not saying anything new about the Chiefs. Yeah.
4-3. Let's take it easy.
What are you taking?
Chiefs 6.5.
Chiefs 10.5.
That's fair. Jaden Daniels probably isn't playing. So.
Nope. Teams on bye this week. So just for anyone on fantasy, the Lions are on bye, the Raiders are on bye, Rams are on bye, Cardinals are on bye, Seahawks are on bye, and Jaguars. So a lot of fantasy value there, like Jahmyr Gibbs, Dave Montgomery, Jared Goff, Puka. I guess he's not playing anyways, but Devontae Adams, Seahawks defense, if you're like me, or, if you have Brian Thomas somehow on your team.
And Jigba?
Yeah, JSN. Yeah. There's a lot of fantasy value out there that's going to be hurting.
My fantasy teams are kind of decimated this week.
Yeah, do we want to talk about our matchup that we just had? Me and Matt played head-to-head in fantasy football. He probably doesn't want to talk about it.
Who cares? Why would they care about that, truly?
No, I just wanted to.
You're bringing that up because you won? Is that it?
Actually, I looked up.
You think I would bring it up if I won? No.
I was looking at our career stats against each other. You're my toughest opponent. This is my first win against you.
Ever?
It's since our league, which is like 3 years. So I want to bring it up.
More than 3 years.
No, just like what this league goes back. So we reset it. But
okay.
Yeah. Matt had Jamar Chase drop 40 on my head, or was it 30 something? And I had Bo Nix drop 40 on his head. So
38, and I should have lost. I knew I was going to lose anyways.
I was Thursday night when that happened. I just pretty much checked out of fantasy football. I was like, oh, there's no shot I win it. And then I'd look on Sunday and
Dude,
I had
the
a real
fact that I
shot.
was still like nervous after he did that, I was like, I don't know.
after the 38 burger.
Yeah, I don't think my team is gonna.
Matt's struggling this year, but I think he can turn around. He still has a chance. Anyone else in our fantasy league? It's a pretty competitive fantasy football league. Although a lot of people get very lucky.
Was it expose Matt time? Is that it?
No, I just said you were my toughest opponent.
Yeah, I lost. Who cares?
Yeah. Oh well. But with that, we'll come back and we'll do a little bit of college football recap. Not too much, and then we'll do a preview for week 9. And we're back to recap college football week 8. And I tell you what, man, if your team survived this week, there was a lot of teams that fell in this. There was a lot of teams that went down, and AP rankings are going to they've changed a lot. Let's start off with Friday night. Last Friday, Louisville took down number 2 Miami 24-21. Carson Beck had 4 interceptions, and Louisville was coming off a bye, which I don't think a lot of people expected them to really put up too much of a fight, but just they schemed up some crazy plays in this game. The first touchdown or the first drive, they used 3 different quarterbacks, and then they got stalled out. It was 4th down. They ended up doing a fake field goal and then got the first down and then push their way in for the touchdown. Miller Moss, quarterback for Louisville, is a transfer from USC. Louisville took down number 2 Miami. Matt, anything you want to add on this game? We're just kind of recapping this, and then we'll get into the previews.
I mean, not really. Just besides, obviously, the 4 interceptions from Carson Beck, who was, kind of a Heisman favorite, probably going into this week.
Obviously, he just didn't have a sharp game.
Right. This is going to hurt his stock for sure. You can't throw, especially as your number 2 ranked team, you can't throw 4 interceptions and lose to an unranked team and expect to still be up there for Heisman consideration. I'm sure he's not even worried about that. Honestly, their team is probably just worried about making the playoffs at this point.
Yeah, in Louisville, they moved to 2-1 in the ACC and possibly could run the table and get into the college football playoff. I think that's going to be a lot of teams moving forward, is they have to win their conference. Obviously, you get a buy into or you don't get a buy, but you get a automatic bid into the playoff. Next game, another Friday night game, which I just wanted to mention here just because my pet peeve with storming the field. Minnesota hosts Nebraska, number 25 Nebraska, and beat them 24-6. And then their fans stormed the field after that game. And I've said previously, if you're storming the field on a team that's ranked 25, 21, anything above 20, and you're unranked, I don't know if that really qualifies for field storming. It didn't even look that good of a field storming. Didn't look too I guess everyone was doing it, so I got to go run on the field, but
didn't look cohesive.
Yeah, it didn't look like all the fans agreed, but once it happened, it really had to happen. So
I mean, they beat them by 3 scores,
which I think that makes it even worse. You shouldn't do it. You knew you were going to win. They just stayed to the game because they were we're going to storm the field.
Absolutely, you storm the field after that. Beating a ranked team by 3 scores, I'm storming that, brother.
Dylan Raiola, quarterback for Nebraska, was sacked 9 times in this game.
That's wild, bro.
Absolutely in a blender. Both teams are 5-2.
Lord.
Minnesota 3-1 can possibly. I don't think they're going to make it to the Big Ten championship. They have a hope and a dream now.
Good win for them.
And then getting to Saturday, I just wanted to talk about real quick. James Franklin was on College Game Day, and I just found that was interesting. 1 week after getting fired from Penn State, he was 12 years at Penn State. They were it was almost like they were doing an interview. They were interviewing him for other teams. It was just weird. I get why he's doing it. He's probably trying to get another job and putting himself out there. And credit to the College Game Day staff. They were asking him some questions about why do you think this happened? Where do you think you went wrong in the process? And they weren't just giving him softballs, and he handled it very well. But it was almost like a working interview for possibly a head coaching job.
I mean, honestly, I don't think that's what it was.
That's what it seemed like to me.
I mean, he was there for 12 years at Penn State, like a perennial, top tier team, right? I don't think he has to go on to, College Game Day and kind of
but why would
solidify himself for another coaching job? He's already going to get one regardless. I think this is just in college, from the view of College Game Day. Absolutely, you want to get this guy on. He just got fired from a top tier school. get him on. Let's know what he's thinking type deal, right? And I don't think it's like I don't think he has to go on there to
I'm wondering who
further
reached
his
out.
stance.
Who reached out? Did he reach out to College Game Day and say, "Hey, I want to come
No.
on," or do you think they reached out to him?
100% they reached out to him.
Yeah. Either way, I thought it was a great way to get some insight into what these head coaches go through. Like he talked about, the
Absolutely.
stresses of being at Penn State, and he said, I wanted to win a national championship there, but now I want to go somewhere else and win one. So he still has that hunger, that drive, and so that's what. When he said that, I was like, this kind of seems like he's wanting to. If there's a team out there that needs a coach, he wants to be in that conversation. He wants to put himself back out there, especially 1 week after. But he just talked about like how quickly the decision came down, and it was interesting.
Honestly, I did know he was there for 12 years. Especially this year, regardless of his tenure, I could see that he's going to get fired this year.
Yeah.
Because you can't, be a top tier school and have that record, but he's not going to have a problem getting a job, especially with the amount of D1 coaches that have been fired this year. He's not going to have a problem finding a job at another really good school.
He's got a good pedigree, so I think he'll land somewhere. Just probably next year.
Yeah.
But moving on to the college football games, we had number 10 LSU at number 17 Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt to ass is what they're going to start calling them.
That's so good.
That was a good one. I just came out for that one straight off the dome.
Apparently, I was wrong. Earlier, I think I said
LSU lost. Sorry, I forgot to mention the score. Vanderbilt won 31-24. Go ahead.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? One score, whatever. Anyways, I think I touched on this. Vandy hasn't been favored against an SEC opponent since 78. I think I said 79 earlier, but 78's whatever. Yeah, initially, when I saw that Vandy was favored, I was like, oh, this might be LSU might be an underdog, right? They might be overlooking LSU. Okay. I was wrong. They were right, as usual. But, there's a couple things I saw that were like unique on the Vandy side of the ball. So their O-line, right? They have a strong side of the O-line, which like a guard and a tackle, that they line up on the side that they have a tight end on. And then there's the other side is the quick side, which they have a guard and a tackle over there, obviously, that are like they're fast, they're more athletic kind of offensive linemen that can.
You're getting down in the trenches on this.
I am. They can pull, and because obviously they run the ball a ton, right? Like Diego Pavia is not, a pocket passer by any stretch of the imagination. They like to run the ball, and they do that, right? They have a strong side, which are their run blockers. They're certified run blockers, guard, tackle. They have a tight end on that side. The other side are the pullers. They're pass blockers, or they're quick, athletic, tackler guards, which I find that super interesting because I've never seen that ever. So whenever they line up, it's not like a certified left tackle, left guard, or right tackle, right tackle.
They just move them wherever they're going to go with the ball.
Yeah, they switch them like constantly, which I've never seen that ever, right? So, credit to their O-line, because if you can, switch positions like that on a whim, that's incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
Especially like against SEC competition.
I was going to say also credit to Diego Pavia, who went, I mentioned in the Brody of the Week. If you want to know what I say, just get back to Brody of the Week. That's pretty much all you need to hear on that. But also credit to the Vandy fans. I just talked about Minnesota storming the field. Number 17 hosting number 10 LSU. They beat them. The Vandy fans didn't storm the field. They said, we expected this. Maybe Vandy's making a real improvement. I thought that was just, they said this doesn't qualify field storming. We were favored in this game. Why would we storm?
I'd be getting a big head there, but they did have 400 yards total offensively, 240 on the ground. They had the ball for over 36 minutes. I will say Nussmeier, in the grand scheme of the season, he looked better than he had been this past week. Again, dude, up passes for LSU is just plaguing them every week. They're a top 10 in the entire FBS in drop passes, and they're last in the SEC in rushing. They cannot run the ball. And when it comes to the SEC, especially with how good, the DBs are,
right?
In the SEC, Alabama, Georgia, whatever, South Carolina, how often these, you look past few drafts, these DBs that are getting drafted, they're SEC guys, these corners. And when you can't run the ball, you're not really going to be able to pass the ball either. You got to be able to set the run, establish the run, and the LSU can't do it. They definitely couldn't do it against Vandy. And I mean, Vandy's offense is kind of like a 1,000 cuts, right? They just
Yep.
kind of wear you down. I mean, LSU only had 1 sack against Pavia. It's impossible to tackle that guy behind the line of scrimmage. Kind of
Johnny
like you
Manziel
said,
2.0.
Johnny Manziel, dude. He's just so quick and fast and small, and he made so many plays on third down when I thought, okay, we're gonna get him here. It's gonna be a 3 and out, whatever. No, it's like finds the running back on the backfield down it like every single time. It was like third down. He was finding the running back out of the backfield when I thought the play was over and we were getting to Pavia. Nobody was on their running back. He would just leak out kind of to the left or to the right. He would be there wide open. Nobody would be on him, and he would get the first down. We just couldn't put a stop. We just couldn't stop him.
Yep.
When it mattered most, like third downs, we could not get a stop. And, we lost. I mean, it wasn't by a lot, obviously, but it was by enough to lose. That's tough, especially with LSU's.
Falls to 2-2 in the SEC. They pretty much have to win out to have a chance, and Vandy moves to 2-1 in the SEC.
Yeah, and LSU's remaining schedule is tough. You got A&M.
The A&M LSU game is going to be a big one.
Yeah, you got A&M, you got Bama, you got OU, last game of the season. You got Arkansas, who's another really good team.
Moving into the next game, I guess we'll mention real quick. Ole Miss was upset by Georgia, number 5 Ole Miss, Georgia. That game was just an interesting battle between Kirby Smart and Lane Kiffin, both ex-assistants of Nick Saban. And you kind of see that kind of everywhere. I think there was like it was some clip, but it was going around. It was like there's like 9 coaches or 10 coaches that were like former assistants of Nick Saban that are head coaches in college football right now. So even who's Oregon's head coach? He was like the ball boy or something for Nick Saban.
I don't know about the ball boy, but
he wasn't the ball boy, but he had like a smaller role in the team. But it just shows like the Nick Saban.
You see the clip of
in college football.
The clip was Pat McAfee talking to Nick Saban if he's going to accept another coaching job or something.
Oh yeah, you sent that to me.
Team, and he talked to Nick Saban's wife. She was like, no, I think we're content right now. We want to give the Alabama coaching babies
a chance
to win without Nick Saban there, because she was like, if he comes back, he's going to win again. So
yeah, and I will mention the next game. I work with way too many Aggies, so I have to mention it. Texas A&M, number 4, go in and take down Arkansas 45-42. This game was way closer than it probably should have been. Marcel Reed, 3 touchdowns, 280 yards passing, and then he had a touchdown rushing. I will also say Arkansas's quarterback had 3 touchdowns passing and 2 touchdowns rushing. Marcel Reed, we say Heisman race. Arizona's quarterback played better than him. I don't want to give the Aggies any credit, but they are looking like a great team right now. They're one of the few only undefeated teams left. I think it's like 6. A lot of them fell this week. So,
like I said, Arkansas is not a bad team. Like I said, LSU still has to play them. They're not a bad team. They're winning. Not winning. They're losing by like 1 score. It seems like every single week.
And it seemed like this game, like I guess there was a 2-hour delay or something, but the A&M game, or the Texas Tech game was going on at the same time, and so I wasn't really paying attention. This one, I just saw the score kept going back and forth, but it seemed like for the most part, A&M it was in control. It just got a little dicey at the end. So something you want to hope they clean up moving forward. With their schedule, especially. I can't remember who they have next week, but I know they have LSU. Oh, they do have LSU next week. Okay. So we'll get into that in the preview for the next week. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Alabama and Texas A&M are the only undefeated conference records in the SEC. So I know they're probably fighting for the SEC championship game. Let's see here. Let's get into it. Number 7, Texas Tech loses at Arizona State. Texas Tech, everyone's been asking me what are the thoughts on this game, where I'm just going to put them in this podcast. Texas Tech had a backup quarterback in the game. They got extremely unlucky on some fumbles. Like Arizona State fumbled the ball 3 times in this game, and they recovered all of them. Texas Tech had an interception that bounced off of our receiver's face mask and into the defender's hands. It was about as unlucky as you can get in the game. There's even a play where Arizona State, their receiver is a yard offsides. I'm not saying that's a big deal, but they did get a 45-yard catch on it and then scored a touchdown. The refs actually threw a flag on the play and then picked it up and said that he wasn't offsides. So just a little dicey. Texas Tech did get field stormed on this one. It didn't feel great. No tortillas were thrown in this game. But I felt like this game was a trap game. I may have mentioned it last week, but their quarterback, Sam Leavitt, he's a veteran quarterback. They won the Big 12 last year. They were picked to win the Big 12 this year. They were just struggling with injuries. And let me also mention something real quick. Their receiver, Jordan Tyson, he's a top 10 pick in the mock drafts right now. And by God, he pulled a hamstring and was still slicing up our secondary. That guy is the real deal. He is probably the best receiver when healthy in the league. He will be a problem.
I do want to. Have you seen that? It's been so long since it's been like viral, but there's like a Madden clip of like Greg Jennings on the Packers, and
what
he
about him? With the broke leg though?
Yeah,
broke
leg though, and he's like he's running down the field like holding his leg, injured, but he's still scoring a touchdown. Like that's how I felt watching Jordan Tyson, and that especially that last huge end of the game to set them up into the scoring position. That even though he had that injury, he's still coming in there and he's risking a lot worse of an injury happening.
Yeah.
But he's still there, and he still made that play.
It was the biggest game in probably Arizona State history, man.
And honestly, if he wasn't injured, if he was fully healthy, that plays a touchdown. You know what I'm talking about, but viewers might not know. But kind of set them up into scoring.
I should have known Texas Tech was going to lose this game when I saw their kick for ASU's kicker is Jesus Gomez. They have Jesus on their team.
It's hard to beat that guy.
He went a perfect 4 for 4, including 3 kicks in the first half. And I don't know. Texas Tech got a chance to win this at the end. They scored, went for 2. I don't know if they got it or not, but whatever. It didn't matter. ASU went down, scored a touchdown. That's when Jordan Tyson took over the game. Will Hammond got kind of shut down. Our whole run game got shut down for Texas Tech. It was not good. It was, I don't know. The running wasn't there. The play calling was interesting. There was a play in the game where it was like 4th and 6 on the goal line. It was like whatever. They run an option play on 4th and 6. And that was
a speed option.
I was like, that's what we're calling 4th and 6. It was just that was the thing. It just wasn't Texas Tech's best game. They got caught on their worst week and it didn't work out for them. And so the undefeated season's over. Hopefully Baron Morton, I think a lot of Texas Tech people probably need to give him some more credit when he comes back and say, hey, thank you. Will Hammond, he's come in, he stepped into some games, but he's still a freshman, right? He's still learning. This was his first Big 12 start. They go dicey.
It's a sophomore.
Oh, is he a sophomore? Is he a redshirt last year?
I think he played last
year. He started the bowl game last year, but this was his first Big 12 start. I do know that. So we had to battle the sun in the second half. The way the sun was shining was right in the guys' eyes. I knew once that happened, I was like, oh, there's no way we're getting any deep threat. We just didn't really have any deep catches. There was like one good run and a couple, maybe a catch or a pass interference, but Texas Tech was not pushing the ball like they normally do. They kind of were getting bullied. I will say our defense kept us in this game for most of it. I mean, we held ASU to only 2 touchdowns, and then their kicker just nailed 4 field goals. So defense still looked great. It's just the offense struggled in this one.
Also, towards the end of the game, Arizona State's last 2 punts they had. One was blocked, and then one was blocked. It
was like tipped.
One was tipped, and then the other one was it just returned?
Yeah, it was returned for. It was a great
punt return. So I thought we were going to win off that. Just their punter kind of selling the entire game. Obviously, it didn't matter. Arizona State got one last.
Yeah, if you ever look at
that was it.
The back and forth of this game of who was going to win, it was just up and down at the end. It was, you didn't know. So it was a good game, not for Tech, but for ASU, like I said, they got to storm the field on us. So feels great. I think that might be the first time in the history of Tech that they've been field stormed. We've never been in that situation to be the team that someone's field storming on, which I know I make a big deal about field storming. ASU, that was good field storming. You guys absolutely filled up the whole field. That's what you do. You take down the top 7 team in the country, and credit to ASU. They were hurt and injured and still were able to pull that one out, even if they got lucky. Oh, one more thing. There was a 4th and goal that we stopped him on, and then there was a roughing the passer called. those penalties, and they ended up getting a fresh set of downs with 1st and goal. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff in this game that you could just point to and say, that hurt us, and to lose in one possession, that, those things can add up. So I will say
also.
Oh, go ahead. I was about to talk about tortillas. So
okay, I was going to bring up their logo change.
Yeah, bring up the logo change.
Texas Tech's logo change. How do you feel about that?
Oh, so it's only
maybe you could put up a.
Oh, give me more work. Why don't you?
Maybe
Matt?
you could put up a side by side of their old logo and now their new logo. Maybe
here's the side by side right here.
There you go. How do you feel about it? You like it?
I like the retro. A lot of people were thinking that the whole school was changing. It's only for athletics, so that's cool. I always liked it. Like, I thought it was a cool logo. I didn't ever think it was something like.
I mean, it's not exactly like the.
I like it as a throwback. I don't know why they're changing it just for everything, but
it's not like exactly the OG logo,
dude. I did watch a video on the I think it was like the marketing team or whatever they brought in to redesign it. Dude, how many millions of dollars do you think they probably paid those guys to just come in and just make the logo look like the throwback? They didn't do anything new. They just took the bevel off, and then they said, like, we raised the arches a little bit so you could see the logo better. And I was like, just say you were lazy and you went with the retro. I like the retro, but just don't try to pass it off as art. We wanted to clean it up. It's like, we've already had that logo for how long?
I think the OG looked better, but it kind of had that it was like coming at you, right?
It looks good with the Adidas uniforms.
I mean, like on the helmet and the uniforms, like I like it, okay, but like side by side, the logo, I guess last week compared to now, I like the old one more. I don't know.
Yeah, they were pretty much saying like remove the bevel or something.
What is that?
What? The bevel?
It's a bevel. Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's like the shadow part of the logo. Like that's what they just took off. So now it's
that's what made it look good.
Double T. Yeah, now
that's what made it look good. Like made it look like 3D kind of.
Yeah, but once again, for everyone listening, it's the athletics are using that logo. The university is not. The university came out because there was a lot of people apparently up in it. So yeah, Texas Tech fell. There's some other games that went on. Just kind of mention. We don't need to get too much. We don't need to get much into them. Where was it? Where's my scores? Alabama took down Tennessee 37-20, which they had it was a crazy punt return or kick return. I can't remember which one. I think it was intercept. I think it was a pick six. But either way, Alabama rolled Tennessee. They always smoke. What? That's
pretty different from the.
Okay, I'll look it up then. I wasn't watching. I was watching the Notre Dame game during this one.
That's fair. I think Ty Simpson kind of solidified himself into
yeah. Oh, it was a 99-yard interception return.
Regardless, Ty Simpson, Heisman candidate, 100%.
Yeah, Ty Simpson, 253 yards passing. Well, here's something. Jeremy Bernard had 53 yards rushing, 49 yards rushing, led the Alabama rushing attack. He's a receiver.
Really?
But that was like whenever I messed up the Brody of the week, I said he was a running back because I saw him in the Georgia game. They used him in running back plays, and so I thought he was a running back. Yeah.
He's like little Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, he does both. He also had 60 yards passing, so I guess he still had more, but he led the team in rushing, okay? He was a running back one for Alabama.
That's fun.
Everyone came on to me on the TikTok for that, so I wanted to make sure I'm defending myself. Alabama uses him as a running back a lot. A lot of people could make that mistake. Shout out Jeremy Bernard, Brody of the Week, Hall of Famer right there. USC and Notre Dame. Notre Dame won. What was the score? Sorry, we're all out of sorts. Be recording on a Wednesday, everyone. Notre Dame won 34-24. This game was in the rain, and Notre Dame gonna keep moving up against Matt's best wishes. Their defense was playing great in this game. They were making stops, so USC couldn't get anything moving. Next one, the Holy War between Utah and BYU. Number 15 BYU, number 23 Utah. BYU won 24-21. This game lived up to the billing. I just watched a little bit of this game. It was the fans really do. They make this game amazing. I did think it was interesting. I did not know this. I don't think I've watched a BYU game all year, but their quarterback is a true freshman and he wears number 47. That is disgusting.
It is disgusting, but his first name is Baird.
Yeah, was it Bear Bachmeyer?
Something like that, but if your first name is Baird, you can wear whatever number you want to.
Yeah, 13 for 22, 166 yards, and a touchdown. Yeah, BYU pulls it out. who was they remained 4-0 and now the leaders of the Big 12. So with that,
Notre Dame 12.
All right, so next we're getting into the rankings here, the AP poll, and you can hear Matt groaning because Notre Dame has moved up just a spot. They're at 12. You hate them.
Even before like the podcast, I've been like, what is Notre Dame doing up there ranked so high? What have they done, right? Especially this year. Like their claim to fame, be the 20 ranked USC team. Congratulations. Let's put them top 12.
Yeah, we'll know more about Notre Dame, what the committee thinks of when we get the college football playoff rankings. But just running through the top 10 real quick, we got Ohio State 1. That hasn't changed. Indiana moves up to 2. Texas A&M to 3. Alabama to 4. Georgia to 5. Oregon's climbing back up to 6. Georgia Tech at 7. They have jumped 5 spots. They're a perfect 7-0. Ole Miss falls to 8. Miami falls to 9. Vanderbilt moves up to 10. They take LSU's spot. They just beat them. BYU moves up to 11. A perfect 7-0. Notre Dame, as we kind of already mentioned, moves up to 12. Oklahoma to 13. And Texas Tech falls all the way to 14. So, honestly, I thought Texas Tech was going to fall further. I think people maybe saw that their quarterback wasn't their starter this week. Arizona State's also now ranked, so like that was a ranked team that we played. They're 24 now, and they were ranked. They were ranked the week before they played Tech, lost, were unranked, played Texas Tech, beat them, and now they're back to being ranked. So I think that was a trap game from the beginning. That's my whole rant on Texas Tech. I'm done now. Well, actually, we're about to get into probably some more here, but
I do want to ask you, how many SEC teams do you think are ranked in the top 25?
I looked at this earlier. It's 10, right?
Okay. Yeah, it is 10.
Yeah, I'm also like a rankings nerd. I was looking at this.
I love
But
it.
how many of them? Because Vanderbilt's really the only one that I'm trying to think. The other ones are 2 losses after Vanderbilt. It's like Texas, Oklahoma. Wait, does Oklahoma have 2 losses?
No.
No, they don't. They just lost the one to Texas.
Tennessee, LSU, and Texas.
Yeah, okay.
Are the 2 losses.
So the SEC will have a bunch of people in the college football playoffs.
However, Texas is ranked higher than a lot of those teams in the SEC, but I don't think that really matters.
Let me just get on what the games are. So I saw big noon kickoff is going to be at Indiana this week. Number 2 Indiana's taking on UCLA, who has won 3 games since beating Penn State. They were 0-4 when they played Penn State, and since then they are 3-4. They have been on a run. They go 3-1 in the Big Ten, and I tell you what, man, maybe UCLA, the Penn State game, turned them around.
My boy Fernando Mendoza, dude, featured New Orleans Saint.
Yeah. Ole Miss, number 8 Ole Miss is taking on number 13 Oklahoma. That's going to be in Norman. Let's see, I'm just going through the good ranked ones. Number 15 Missouri is at number 10 Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is also favored in this game, 2.5. BYU, leaders of the Big 12, number 11 taking on Iowa State at Iowa State. Well, I forgot to mention, I think
They used to be ranked.
Don't quote this on me. I think College Game Day is at Vanderbilt this week. I just thought that was interesting. I didn't think that was the best matchup.
That's great. Thank you for that.
Well, because
LSU about it. Okay, cool.
LSU and A&M are playing. Number 3 Texas A&M taking on number 20 LSU at Death Valley.
Like it matters.
You're sold on LSU, aren't you?
Yeah, their offense is horrendous, dude.
Texas A&M only favored by 2.5.
I don't
talk
care.
You back into them?
Yes, actually can.
There we go.
Because if they lose, I gotta answer to Cole and Gabe.
Cole and Gabe.
And that might be my 14th, 15th reason.
Yep. And just a final game I want to mention here. Yep. Oklahoma State coming to Texas Tech. Number 14, Texas Tech.
Pause.
I will be at that game. And Texas Tech is favored by 38.5.
You can expect live interviews from Baird Morton, from Will Hammond.
If I get on the field, I will get interviews from them.
From, what's his name, Will Rodriguez?
Jacob Rodriguez.
Him too.
Yeah, the linebacker doing great.
All 3 of them.
I just want to talk on the tortilla situation.
For that. Yeah,
Kirby Holcutt, the athletic director for Texas Tech, has come out and said that now no tortillas are permitted, not even on the opening kickoff. So we kind of did a tortilla rant last week, but now it's changed where no tortillas can be thrown. So I will not be throwing any tortillas. I will not be throwing tortillas.
With both of us being,
traditions die, apparently.
We've both, gone to school at Texas Tech. Do we think they're going to stop throwing tortillas?
No. They will not. There's
Exactly.
going to be
There you go.
tortillas thrown at the game, but
You're
I
not
will
going to
not.
do it?
Nope.
I absolutely would. Are you kidding me?
If a tortilla lands in my lap, if it's an Oklahoma State fan, I'm going to get him kicked out. I'll be like, hey, I'm going to start pointing at Oklahoma State fans whenever someone throws a tortilla. I'm like, it was them.
I'm hiding them in my butt cheeks, and I'm throwing them. I don't give a. That's tradition. You can't,
Yeah. So I don't
What are
even
they
know
gonna-
what.
They're
How
going to
they're
kick
gonna
out the
be able to check for all
entire
that
student
stuff.
section? No.
I don't know. That's the week 9 preview. We'll see. I don't think I think last week it was some of the best matchups, but we'll be keeping up. I'll keep up with what I can being at the game this week. So
Right.
we'll see.
Thanks for the invite.
And we're back, and we're about to finish up the show here, but a couple things we want to talk about. My big thing I want to talk about is October 27th, next Monday. If you are a sports fan, mark your calendar because it happens once a year. And it won't happen again until next year. It always sometime in October, but I say it's a sports equinox. Everything aligns. Four of the major sports leagues are going to be playing on that one day, October 27th. I'm going to keep saying it so you remember that Monday. So it's a sports fan's dream. We have the NFL, the MLB, the World Series of the MLB, I should say, the NBA, the NHL, all have games on that day.
What about the WNBA?
The WNBA season's over.
Well, that's one of the major ones, right?
Different conversation, Matt. Oh, the Commanders and Chiefs are playing at 7:15 for the NFL. Game 3 of the World Series will be at 7 p.m. for the MLB. The NHL will have a doubleheader between the Blues and the Penguins at 6 p.m. and then the Bruins and Senators at 6:30. And then there will be 11 NBA games. Fortunately, 2 of them will be on Peacock. So if you don't have Peacock, you won't be able to watch them, whatever. But yeah, I thought that was cool. October might be one of the best sports months, Matt.
Yes.
Do you?
No, I
What
agree.
do you think of sports equinox? You don't sound that fired up as a sports fan.
I agree.
I get it, man. You hate sports.
No, it's just the thing, NBA kind of selling out a little bit.
On the Peacock?
To watch every single NBA game for every week, you got to have, I don't know the exact whatevers, but you can't just have regular cable and expect to watch them. You got to have Peacock, you got to have NBA TV, whatever, you got to have yada yada. They're kind of selling out.
New media rights deal or something.
It's a little wild. I know NFL is kind of heading in that direction as well. Thursday nights they're on Amazon Prime, but yeah, I love that.
Let's talk about the NBA that you do want to talk about. A little NBA talk. Basketball season. I think the opening night is tonight. As we're recording this Tuesday night.
It is tonight. I think they're let me see actually. They're in the fourth quarter actually. So OKC versus Rockets was the first game of the NBA season. If y'all aren't really adept in the NBA, you might not know that the Rockets traded for KD in the offseason.
I forgot he's on the Rockets.
It was one of the biggest trades. Surely. That's probably the biggest trade in the offseason for the NBA.
That's probably the biggest trade that happened last year.
Let's not get into that, please. But, KD's on the Rockets now. The Suns got Jalen Green and some stuff. But, yeah, I do want to bring up the Rockets starting lineup, at least for this game. It was Amin Thompson at the 1, point guard. 6'7". They're putting KD at the 2.
6'7".
I thought about it, yeah. They're putting KD at the 2. They're putting KD at the 2, who's 6'11". They're putting Jabari Smith Jr. at the 3, who's also 6'11", who's normally like a 4, like a power forward. And funny little tidbit about him is whenever he played LeBron for the first time his rookie season, I think it's either his second or third season in the league, but his rookie season, he was playing LeBron and he was talking to LeBron. There's a clip of it, but he was telling him that LeBron's first game in the league, he played against his dad. He played against Jabari Smith Jr.'s dad. So that just shows how long LeBron has played in the league. He's playing against a father, and then now he played against his son.
You're 23, right? So yeah, this is about the time when
something like that. It's obscene, but yeah, they're putting Jabari Smith, 6'11", at the 3 spot. The small forward, whatever. They're putting Alperen Sengun, who's usually a 5. They're putting him at the 4, power forward. And then Steven Adams, 6'11", also at the 5. Their shortest guy in the starting lineup is 6'7". The other 4 are 6'11". So I didn't get to watch, obviously recording the podcast. I didn't watch the start of the game. I didn't get to see them all out there at the same time. But I assume it'd be pretty hard to guard.
That team's going to do great against Victor Wembanyama.
I mean,
I've always said height wins games in the NBA. So,
It's
but it also gets hurt very
yeah,
easily.
rebounding wins, dude. And they're maybe this is like an anti-Wembanyama lineup.
And as first,
Maybe
Wembanyama's already changed in the league.
might slow him down. Who knows? But OKC versus Rockets first game. Second game is Lakers versus Warriors. That's about to start. I think it starts at 9.
Oh yeah, we're gonna finish this podcast just in time to watch. So you're gonna get Mavs updates every episode.
You will. What do you mean Mavs updates?
Ooh, I'm thinking. Wait,
No.
no. Mavs and Spurs play tonight. Also at 9.
Tomorrow.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
Yeah, I thought you were.
I wasn't making
because
a joke. I thought you were saying Mavs
Okay.
tonight. I forgot. Yeah,
you're
Lakers
saying that
play
because
tonight.
Luka's on the Lakers now.
No, I did see LeBron is out.
Yeah, he is out with the.
So Luka's already taken over the team for the Lakers.
What
That
is he
is.
out-
I'm sorry if I got anyone excited about.
What is he out with?
Luka.
It's I think I sent you a. It was funny, like it's something like a butt strain or something like that. That
It's
is
not.
an oversimplification.
Yeah, it's some.
It's like
It's some
something-
soft tissue thing. But
It's something
LeBron,
with his booty.
I think LeBron just is probably doing load management early in the season. So
That'd be crazy, but I mean, yeah, Lakers, Warriors, can Luka carry them with that? You know, with
wait, is
Bron
it
out?
true on who the Lakers added? I don't think I ever caught that.
Well, they added DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, this offseason.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's their starting
I
center.
think I missed that and all the other news that goes on in the sports world.
And I don't know if you knew, but he was the same draft as Luka and Trae Young.
Yeah,
He was the number one overall draft pick
No, to the Suns.
to the Suns.
Yeah, Suns, and then he went to
DeAndre
Portland.
Ayton was
yeah.
the number one overall draft pick
Oh.
above Luka. I think second was Marvin Bagley, maybe to the
I know
Kings.
Trae Young and Luka were traded for each other.
Yeah, and then Trae Young got drafted by the Hawks. And then the whole trade happened, which I'm sure they would redo that if they could. Yeah, the Warriors, not to like get too in depth, but just like the Clippers, I don't know if you know their roster this year.
No, I just know like probably Steph Curry, Draymond Green. I saw Seth Curry got cut.
I was talking about the he got cut.
I saw he was released or something. I saw something on
Seth
that.
Curry
Seth Curry, yeah,
from the Warriors.
I believe so.
Are you serious?
I'm trying to look it up right now, but my
No way.
is it loading? What were you saying? What did I not say? I'll look this up while you. What were you saying? Were you about to say the old heads?
Well, I was going to bring up the Clippers because they're like they got Chris Paul, they got Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, Seth Curry's not on the lineup for the Warriors,
Really?
not on the depth chart. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, Clippers have obviously one of the oldest rosters in the league. So are the Warriors now. They got Steph, they got Jimmy Butler, they got Buddy Hield is old, they got Draymond, obviously.
Al
is old.
Horford.
Al Horford, who's like 39 or 40.
I did not know he was on the Warriors now.
Yeah.
I feel like the NBA in the recent years, you're starting to see like players move around a lot more than it used to be.
Definitely, definitely this offseason. But I mean, can Steph carry this? This roster of.
Oh yeah, he can. If he
doesn't
shoots
really have
anywhere,
much
what he
help
does.
this year. He's got like Jonathan Kuminga, who just
I don't
signed
care,
a
dude.
huge
Steph
extension.
Curry.
That's fair. I mean, he's got Jonathan Kuminga, who is like probably the number 2 scorer on that team now.
Yeah.
He's like 23 or whatever, but you got nobody else. Like Jimmy is an all right, during the regular season. He turns up in the playoffs, but can they even make the playoffs? Who knows? So it'll be fun to see.
We'll see. It's a long NBA season. I don't really start
Definitely.
watching basketball until Christmas, but I keep up with it a little bit.
I definitely will be watching the Mavs, obviously. Keep
Yeah, Mavs I'll keep up. I got to see what Cooper Flag does. So
definitely.
and then I'll be keeping up with Luka. So that's our favorite players.
Even though how much it hurts.
Yeah, Matt, show them the shirt. The Lakers. Yep. House divided. But is that everything for the NBA, Chad?
Yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, then we will get into just kind of closing out the show. I think Matt had a great flu podcast. He really put on a tough face. If you heard any coughing or anything, you try and do this with a sickness. That's just how much Matt is committed to the game. And we might maybe start releasing episodes on Wednesday. There's a lot to talk about on Tuesdays. Like I feel like that's when like the sports cycle starts. And so we might keep this going, especially we always release episodes on Tuesday and then everything comes out. We're like, we could have talked about that or something. So we might do it this way. We'll see. We'll see what kind of feels good. So, and also if you have any opinions, please let us know. Be sure you're following us over on the Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Brody Pod. And be sure if you're listening on Spotify, please go ahead and rate the pod 5 stars. Or if you're on the YouTube, please like and subscribe so you never miss an episode because we release these weekly, but sometimes the days can change. Also, just the Twitter, please go follow the Twitter. That's where we post, like, if an episode's going to be delayed coming out or something, or Matt's always cooking up great tweets. Shout out Matt doing the Twitter.
Appreciate that.
Please go follow the Twitter. Matt puts a lot of work into it. So
please,
or don't. I don't care. I don't run the Twitter.
I care. Please,
Matt, you got anything for closing?
That's it, man. Love y'all for watching. Appreciate it, obviously. Whoever watches, listens, whatever it may be, whatever platform. We always appreciate it.
Nope. And y'all take care. God bless you.